Welcome. Nice Tuesday outside. Beautiful day. We got ourselves a good show this afternoon leading into the Western Conference Finals that we were promised but did not get, as the Phoenix Suns didn't handle their end of the bargain. We got Warriors and Suns tonight. That should be interesting. Obviously, Ray, we have one more day of basking in what was that against the Kansas City Chiefs, but we got to start turning the page a little bit because the game that they have coming up against the LA Rams is about as big of a game as they have remaining on their schedule. If having a decent feeling about a team going into a bye week actually means something, that would be a good time to turn around this two-game losing streak. That's for sure.
Yeah, that would be helpful, but they have more concrete things to take care of, which is how to just figure out, how to fix a defense that is shredded with injuries right now. And the Rams are Sunday's problem, but up until then, they've got to either get guys healthy or figure out something other than what they did on Sunday.
Do you think the failure in defensive performance had more to do with the 49ers' injuries or Kansas City's dominance?
6 of one, half a dozen of another. I mean, Kansas City,
Kansas City does that to a lot of teams.
Yeah, but I don't think when you look at the amount of time that Mahomes had, that's normal. The 49ers in their other two games against the Chiefs, they did manage to put pressure on him at some point during the game. He was never bothered on Sunday. So I tend to think if you're going to make me choose one, it's probably more the injuries, because the 49ers have never failed so miserably to handle their business up front.
It really was bad. It was bad, and it actually got a little worse in terms of how bad of a performance that was for the 49ers defense. We do know and pointed out yesterday that the 44 points at home were the worst ever given up by Kyle Shanahan at home in the Shanahan era. 30 points in the second half alone. It was no good. But it actually got a little worse. Dave Lombardi reported that was the most amount of yards per play that the 49ers defense has given up in the Kyle Shanahan era by a ton. Like, not by a little. And when you measure it against the other two performances that were that bad, it even gets worse, because the 49ers just gave up 9.1 yards per play to the Kansas City Chiefs this past Sunday. Their other two dreadful defensive performances in terms of yardage per play was against Green Bay back in 2018 and Dallas in 2017, where the averages were 7.4 and 7.2 respectively.
And the teams were terrible.
And those were before Shanahan rebuilt them in his own vision. That was during the I've got to mop up the spill before I can really start pouring the drinks the way I want to.
Yeah, so no, this one was out of context, even after you allow for the fact that Kansas City has the most dynamic offense in the game. So I again, forced to answer the question the way you posed it. Yeah, I think the injuries did them a lot of harm.
Were you praising the question? Is that what you? This is so good. Oh.
I was trying to find a word that made no sense, and I found about 3.
Well done. Michael Irvin joins us today at 3:30. We're looking forward to saying hello to Michael. We double-dipped with him last week concerning all the McCaffrey breaking news that we had. Just a suggestion on a Monday, turned into a reality, and we had him back on Friday. And now we will get him to go through what was all things considered, especially after Monday Night Football last night. That was kind of an interesting week of football. You had some very unexpected outcomes. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting steamrolled by a bad rebuilding Carolina team. You had Taylor Heineke and the Washington Commanders make Aaron Rodgers look like he belonged more in the retirement home than he did in the middle of a football field. It did not look good. And then last night, in one of the more unexpected outcomes I think you're going to see, the Chicago Bears didn't just go out and get past the New England Patriots in Foxborough. They manhandled them. I mean, they really manhandled them. That was more than just a few breaks, finally went the Bears' way. A couple of passes finally got completed for the first time all year. And, oh, what do you know? They edged out the New England Patriots. They didn't edge out the Patriots. They straight up outcoached, outplayed, and embarrassed the Patriots. That was a stunner last night.
It was so bad that Bill Belichick changed his quarterback after 3 series. Just said, this ain't working. And, if Bailey Zappi is your way out of a problem,
you got a problem.
You still have the same problem.
Bailey Zappi has looked pretty good. Small sample size to rob anyone of enthusiasm, but to me, it's not even the replacement of Bailey Zappi that is the interesting part of it. It's the benching of Mac Jones.
Oh, no. It's because that's the one that the Patriots were going to build around in the post-Brady era. And after a decent start, people are on to him. They've spotted the weaknesses in his game that made him sort of... Let me put it this way. If you take Trevor Lawrence out of this class, it's ordinary at best, and maybe not that. They had a lot of quarterbacks, none of whom have done very much. And, even at that, Trevor Lawrence, his team's like 1-5-1. They're brutal. So, this might have been one of those illusory classes where you had a lot of quarterbacks either placed on the wrong team or highly unlucky, like the fellow in San Francisco.
Well, I saw that Bill Barnwell was writing about that fellow in San Francisco and even suggested that the 49ers should consider trading Trey Lance. I hadn't heard about this until Colin Cowherd brought it up on his show I was watching this morning. And he said, the problem with the internet is that everybody just jumps down the throat of someone for just, kind of spitballing out loud and thinking out loud. So, I'll give Bill Barnwell the grace of thinking out loud on this one. I don't think he's right, and he would go on to say later on in the story about how slim the chances of this actually happening are, but he was just spitballing, so we'll spitball along with him. Michael Irvin, though, as I was saying, joins us at 3:30 today, our only guest scheduled for today. We got a lot of stuff to get into this afternoon. We have the Tevin Coleman era to look back on fondly. The 49ers have just made a roster move. They have released Tevin Coleman. Go Hoosiers. Too bad for Tevin. He is the odd man out in terms of, how old are you in this running back room that just got more crowded with the addition of Christian McCaffrey. And, he's averaging 2.1 yards per carry. He's not nearly the player that he used to be. Having said all that, only Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk have more touchdowns scored this season, 3, as opposed to Tevin Coleman's 2 touchdowns that he's scored, both in the Carolina game. I don't know if they beat Carolina without Tevin Coleman. They probably do. Someone else could have done that, but it was not a very long second go-around for Tevin Coleman.
Last one in, first one out. It's no more complicated than that. I mean, they took him after they picked up Marlon Mack, who's missed far more time.
Who's actually just gotten picked up by somebody else, just took him off their practice squad. I can't even remember who. Marlon Mack, his era is over too.
Yeah, I mean, but
that's how it works.
Yeah, it's just, you don't need it. Well, I mean, look, Coleman may be back if McCaffrey gets hurt, and I don't think that's an unfair or unreasonable postulate to make. Just because, A, running backs get hurt, B, the 49ers have injuries, and C, Christian McCaffrey has a history.
And by the way, Marlon Mack is now a Denver Bronco. Wah, wah. Sorry.
Ooh-wee.
Marlon Mack. We wish you the very best, though. There is truly only one way that the McCaffrey trade really pays off. And it's not with a Super Bowl, okay? Results are not guaranteed. They really aren't. So to set that as the only expectation to where he totally pays off for Kyle Shanahan, I think is a little bit of a fool's errand. I love that you have high standards for your football team. I really do. But that, to me, is like an impossible standard to measure up to because only one team gets to win the Super Bowl. But lots of teams have the opportunity to look well-prepared, well-coached, and able to adapt to what happens in a football game in front of them. And if Christian McCaffrey allows this offense to open up just a little bit, he will have been worth the steep price of admission to him. What, though, were the 49ers' needs before trading for Christian McCaffrey? And does he really fit any of those needs? I think the answer is probably not. I'm still happy he's here. Like, I think he's going to be a valuable piece, not just this year, but going forward, if he stays healthy. Very big if, but we get some questions to look back at, some optimism to actually offer about the 49ers season, and we, before it's all said and done, got to set up Warriors and Suns from Phoenix tonight. Our friend John Dickinson is going to be taking over at 6 o'clock this evening, getting you ready for what should be a pretty good game, all things considered. We're monitoring a few things happening in the sports world, so you basically don't have to, so we'll update you on those things before it's all said and done today. But Michael Irvin joining us this hour around 3:30, so about 15, 20 minutes from right now here on 95.7 The Game, so stay tuned. It should be a great conversation. He was just at dinner with Des Bryant and Post Malone. We will ask him about the Super Bowl bet that Post Malone made about the Cowboys with his own face. Yes, obviously there is a tattoo involved. So we got a lot for you today. 888-957-9570, Michael Irvin at 3:30. We hope to hear from you. We got a good show planned for you with lots of juicy stuff to get into, but when we come on back, we're going to ask the honest question. What did the 49ers really need before they traded for Christian McCaffrey? And is Christian McCaffrey any of those things? Stick around. Damon and Ratto here on 95.7 The Game. You can subscribe to everything we do here on Damon and Ratto on the Odyssey app, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. The internet. Duh.
With an offense that's stacked with weapons. And one of the best defenses in the league. Why are the Niners only 3-4?
Man, I'm pissed off, man. The Niners embarrassed me. First with the coach. I'm super frustrated. You can't have penalties. You can't have turnovers. You got to play one of your best games and stay in it. And we weren't even close.
Let us know the problem at 888-957-9570.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for just $49.99 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle. Offer ends 12/5/2022. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable based on Root Metrics US report. Results vary, not an endorsement.
Are you interested in new career opportunities in the Bay Area and want to make a difference in your community? The San Francisco Sheriff's Office is looking for people considering a job in law enforcement right now. If you're at least 20 years or older with a high school diploma or equivalent, the San Francisco Sheriff's Office wants to hear from you. Enjoy full benefits, flexible schedules, and opportunities for growth and promotion. For employment announcements and more information, visit sfsheriff.com. That's sfsheriff.com to apply today.
It's the bottom of the ninth, the game's on the line, and your small business needs a loan fast. What's your move? Go to OnDeck.com, America's largest online small business lender. With OnDeck, you can apply in minutes, and if approved, get your funds as soon as the same day. Go to OnDeck.com. Your loan is on deck. Depending on certain loan attributes, your business loan may be issued by OnDeck or Celtic Bank, a Utah Chartered Industrial Bank member FDIC. Limited eligibility for same-day funding. OnDeck does not lend in every state. All loans subject to lender approval.
The Prophetic Matrix. Unlock the secret code to your destiny. A new revolutionary book by Michael John Toste. The first ebook to make history by being filmed in space. Discover your unlimited future. Get The Prophetic Matrix now on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those in the Marine Corps' base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve, but passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file lawsuits seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation. 800-610-9256. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-610-9256. That's 800-610-9256. Again, 800-610-9256.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off of every Warriors game. Brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity.
Finding the right Medicare plan? Oof, no easy feat. Kind of like those dances my granddaughter loves making me do. But then I found Walgreens FindRx coverage. Lets you compare plans online, over the phone, or in person. Made Medicare shopping so easy. Plus, I found plans with low-cost copays. I can get down with that. Medicare annual enrollment ends December 7th. Find a plan that's right for you at walgreens.com/Medicare.
Get what you want and pay over time when you use your Lowe's Advantage Card. Now through October 26, 2022. Ask for 0% APR with 36 fixed monthly payments on a product installation or appliance purchase of $1,000 or more. Shop for the appliances you want in-store or online. Or go to the store nearest you for installation. Now at Lowe's. Offer subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store or Lowe's.com for details. U.S. only.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink, all for just $5. You got that bag, you got that Biggie Bag, you got that bag. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're gonna feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Now back to Damon and Ratto on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, we are streaming. We are on the Twitch. We're on the YouTube. Kids, you can bask in the glory. Hello, Joseph Dodson. Hello, Mr. Bridge. Hello, Aaron Riviera. These are some of the regulars. Drew Down, he's a regular. Chatting on the Twitch page. No, do we not have Otis Bird III? Is our reigning champion not here today? Maybe he's taking the day off. He logs in so often. We'll give him one day off. We got an awful lot of stuff. Obviously, you can reach out to the show on the YouTube chat page. The Xfinity mobile text line is where you can reach us. And as always, 888-957-9570. Michael Irvin comes up in about 10 minutes here. Ray, the Niners, let's put together, just thinking, just spitballing. What were, I guess I should ask, were the biggest needs they had before trading for Christian McCaffrey? What do you think they were? Where, just putting together a quick thumbnail sketch of things the Niners needed.
Offensive line. That was I think by far their biggest need. The problem with that, though, was they needed it more than one position, and you don't get that many bites at the apple.
I totally agree. I wrote down they need a center, interior offensive line improvement? Would there be a possibility to maybe make yourself a massive upgrade at right tackle? Maybe move McGlinchey inside, see if you can't get maybe more out of him there than you do at right tackle. Just spitballing, just thinking out loud. After I went to offensive line with the injuries to Azeez Al-Shaair and Dre Greenlaw, who limps off the field a little too often for an impact player, maybe outside linebacker. Would you give me that, Ray, in terms of improving the defense a little bit? Maybe outside linebacker, maybe another defensive tackle if Javon Kinlaw can no longer be trusted to have that knee of his?
I see. I wouldn't say a tackle because they have 100 of them already, and some of them have to be all right. And if they work well together or they're healthier, then I don't think that's a need.
Fair
or maybe
enough.
one more secondary guy.
Yeah, and my third thing was if we're not looking at tackle or linebacker, cornerback. You can't have enough cornerbacks. If you're actually going to be activating Jason Verrett soon and counting on him, that alone, that one action alone means you're probably going to need another corner. Not to insult Verrett in any way, who when he is healthy and out there, he's a good corner. But
more to the point,
counting
there,
on him to be healthy.
More to the point. Chiefs, Rams, Chargers, Cardinals. A lot of balls in the air.
There you go. Indeed. Look, so we bring all that up, and I want you to say that, or I want to say that I'm as happy as the next guy that Christian McCaffrey's on this team. But I'm not sure he really goes about addressing a single point of need. I mean, running back problems feel like they should have been solved with what you had in-house if you were having problems in your running game, and indeed the Niners were. But Elijah Mitchell getting healthy and returning should be like an impact, right? And then you got Deebo Samuel, who seems to be an afterthought now at a position he completely excelled in last year. Kyle Juszczyk, obviously, I think is forever underused, could be used a little bit more, maybe as a runner. Unfortunately, his broken finger is going to have him out for the Rams game. He is expected back after that, after the bye. You drafted Ty Davis-Price. You got another rookie running back that you haven't even bothered to really take a look at yet in Jordan Mason. Like, it feels like opportunities to address what you're lacking in the running game were already on the roster, and improvement on the roster where you really needed it wasn't at running back. Now, I only bring this up because, look, maybe the draft capital used on McCaffrey could have been used to address maybe even more than one of those needs. I mean, 4 future draft picks just got put in play. I wonder if the Niners had the opportunity, or they had to move so fast on McCaffrey, they really didn't get a chance to do the rest of the roster math on. Since we're sitting here really considering moving 4 draft picks for one player, what could we get if we moved off that one player but still put these 4 draft picks in play?
I think the problem, though, with that line of thinking is that McCaffrey being available is so much better than most guys who are available at offensive line or in the secondary or in that linebacker spot. McCaffrey he's an outlier.
He is.
So you're not going to spend that kind of capital and get the same kind of quality in return because there isn't that much quality out there that's available.
I guess I would say that I don't know. I don't know that. I'm wondering if the Niners had a chance to do if I could quote Brian Sabian, the due diligence.
Oh, I'm sure they kicked the hell out of tires.
Did they call around league looking for centers, interior offensive linemen, maybe a corner, maybe an outside linebacker? If you're putting picks 2, 3, 4, and a future 5 in play, I mean, right now in the NFL, they're swapping players for like a future 5th or a future 6th negotiable. I just wonder how much more they could have possibly done If anything at all. I mean, I'm just, again, only thinking out loud here. I'm not accusing them of making the wrong move. I don't know what options there were. I don't know how fast-tracked the McCaffrey deal was due to the fact that the LA Rams were interested in it. Maybe. I'm wondering how much of the Rams sniffing around Christian McCaffrey in a not this time mindset from Kyle Shanahan after getting beaten to Matt Stafford by, McVay. I wonder if that didn't increase his timeline on this.
Oh, I mean, look, every trade has a bunch of different elements to it. One is desirability. Two is availability.
Fit,
and
price.
Fit, price, and finally, how much time you have to close a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Rams get McCaffrey, it solves their most egregious problem offensively. And all of a sudden, a team that looks like it's having trouble getting out of the blocks suddenly becomes a juggernaut again. So I would assume that the Rams being involved had something to do with that. But I also think that the 49ers have tried to figure out ways to make their offense work, but they keep losing guys. They keep losing running backs more than anything else. And I think this is one of those moments where you go, we can change the dynamism of our offense. And even though I still think that, plugging the holes defensively, would have made them almost indomitable on that side of the ball. I think McCaffrey's the kind of guy you don't fritter away. You do that deal.
Well, yeah, I mean,
and I know you're not saying you don't do the deal.
Right. Players like McCaffrey are rare, and if you have the opportunity to add someone like that, I don't blame you for biting at that apple.
Yeah, and again, they could swallow the price because they have a bunch of compensatory picks still laying around. And beyond that, they're trying to get out of the block so that they're not looking at another 3 and 5. If the Rams have McCaffrey going into this week, who do you think wins that game?
Given the fact that one of the Rams' completely glaring issues right now is running back, yeah, that would up the price of that game big time. Yeah. I mean, Cam Akers is nowhere to be found, basically sent home without a supper.
Well, he wants out, so they just say, well, if you want out, you're clearly not interested in playing, so... No, I think all those things, tied together to make this, if not a no-brainer, but one that, you don't really have an excuse for walking away from if you have an offering that the Panthers are willing to do. I think it's a deal you have to do, even though maybe it leaves you a little naked somewhere else.
Especially if you're bidding against your in-division rival that immediately gets better and addresses a need should they add the player that you're pursuing.
Well, the defending Super Bowl champion that you've got to get through if you're going to even sniff the Super Bowl.
Talking about the Seahawks?
Yeah, that's the one.
Look, to me, there's only one way that McCaffrey truly pays off. He's got to be the Dakota ring. He's got to be the one guy that officially makes Kyle Shanahan's job easier for the first time in a long time, because Shanahan's job right now clearly is not an easy one. Almost the entirety of Shanahan's offense is run in a 17-yard box. Think about it. The offense starts anywhere from 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage and essentially goes about 12 yards past the line of scrimmage. There is a 17-yard box there where everything the 49ers really do or execute or are comfortable asking their quarterback to execute happens in that zone. That zone is Christian McCaffrey's kitchen. It absolutely is, and it's Debo's kitchen, and it's it's George Kittle's kitchen. It's Ayuk's kitchen. Like, hopefully, finally, if three chefs, Ray, wasn't enough to open the kitchen, maybe a fourth chef will officially open this kitchen for the first time in terms of, all right, we're officially and a little, offensive rhythm now, offensively, because McCaffrey really has been our decoder ring. We now can see the matrix now. Kyle can open things up in a way that makes people around here going, all right, that's pace, that's rhythm, that's tempo, that feels good.
Well, and the other thing is, because they are not a great pass blocking team in terms of setting a guy up in the pocket and letting him wing it, you've got to make plays. You got to make plays and find players that do things quickly. And McCaffrey is as good at that as really anybody who would have been on the market, which is another reason why you do that. I mean, I think that, that the offensive line issues have been grossly undersold by most people, because if you have an offensive line that can pass block, you're going to pass.
See, I think this offensive line has actually played better than the worst expectations for it. I think they're outperforming a level of expectations. And the weekly problem with the Niners is not Jimmy can't stand up. I mean, he has a clean pocket for the most part.
Well, yesterday was an example of how they don't. And because he gets rid of the ball so quickly, it makes that pass blocking, those pass blocking numbers look better than they are.
Did you say you were asking for playmakers? Because we officially have one. The Hall of Famer himself, Mr. Michael Irvin. Nice enough to join us for a weekly chat. Thank you, Michael. Before we get into a lick of football here, we need to talk about this dinner you were at. How does a dinner with you and Post Malone and Des Bryant come together? Just tell us about the reservation process. How does that happen?
Well, first of all, how you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Thinking about Post, people reach out, and Post is a huge Cowboy fan, and he loves the Cowboys. His dad worked for the Cowboys for a lot of years, So when a long time ago, I was coming over, and I was running late. And I called my guy Rich, and Post's dad answered the phone. I was like, "Hey, I'm looking for Rich. That's Rich." And he was like, "Who?" I said, "Rich. What is Rich?" He said, "Rich." He said, "This is Rich. This ain't Rich Del Ripple. This is not that Rich." And he told me who he was. I said, "Oh, this was before he had Post, of course. Then after he had Post."
So this is pre-Malone.
This is primo. This is pre-Post. This is pre-Post, right? But he raised Post as a huge Cowboy fan. So we're great friends. Matter of fact, I'll see him tomorrow, because that night we went to dinner, he was having a show in Dallas that next day. But I was leaving that next day. That's why he moved it up to Wednesday so we can get to dinner. I was leaving the next day, but he's having a show tomorrow in Fort Worth. I told him I'm coming back in town. As a matter of fact, I got back today, and I said I'll see you Wednesday. So I'll spend some time with him Wednesday. I told my secretary to clear everything Thursday morning. I'll start working at noon Thursday.
That's a lot of Dallas royalty sitting at one table, man. That server must have been like, wow, look at this private table.
Yeah, Jose, we had so much fun, though. Oh my God, we had so much. You had fun when you drink to the place where the dude say, "All right, if they win the Super Bowl, we're going to get a tattoo." That's all drunk talk. That's all drunk
but,
talk right there.
But you have to hold it to him, because we have video evidence of it. Has anyone ever said...
And it's been so long since we've had it, there's no way he would back out of it.
Oh, right. Well, right. He'll apparently tattoo anything on his face. At least this will make sense, I guess.
Right.
Have you ever been the subject of a tattoo in the past? Has anyone ever bet is your number tattooed on any other human that you know of?
Well, you know what? You're a skilled, technician in interviewing, and I just love to see you there. I love feeling you dance around. And like, wait a minute, this could go a lot of places. Let's make sure we get this out the right way.
I guess. Is this the only man that is tattooed 88 somewhere?
That's a good way of working that thing right there. As far as I know now, as far as I know, at my behest, and he's trying to get him to do it. Now, I don't know. I run into many guys out there that comes up and says, "I've been in the steam room. This is why I built my gym in my house." I said, "Okay, no more of that." Like I used to go to work out at the gym, and when I get to the gym after my workout, I like to go sit in the steam. killer steamer. And I'm sitting in the steamer. You know how many dudes? I mean, literally, I know this is no joke. I'm sitting there literally reading. I fun up something. I take my homework and I fun it up to 2024. So I just see it in the steam room. I'm literally in there reading. You know how many grown men are coming up and turned around and bent their booty over and said, Michael got a star right here. I said, dude, you're a Cowboy fan. You ain't got to be doing this right here, though. I mean, come on, dude. Dude, I'm telling you, this is a true story. I'm looking at this. You're a grown-ass man. Why are you bending over showing me a star on your backside? It's the most crazy thing in the world. But I don't know why they think that's the right time to tell me.
I guess this is officially called the price of fame, is it not?
Yeah. When is the right time to do that?
Probably never. At least when we're out after you get dressed. Hey, man, you know, I got a star in a secret spot back there, man. You'll never see it, but I got it back there. I'm saying, dude, that's cool. I believe you. I don't want to see it, but I believe you. You know what I'm saying? That's how that conversation's supposed to go. You ain't got to bend your butt over in front of me and show me your stuff. There's a whole lot more than just this stuff. I don't want to see. You see
yeah, you need better friends.
Yeah. Michael Irvin.
Those are strangers, not friends of mine. I guess that's why they felt this. They only chance they got to get it out.
Steam rooms aside, dinners aside, let's get to what we wanted to bring you on to talk about. But seriously, that looked like a hell of a dinner the other night, and we'll see whether or not
so much fun.
There's going to be an 88 on Post Malone's face come post Super Bowl. What do you think of Christian McCaffrey's debut with the 49ers? Obviously, the game did not go well, but what did you think of his reps?
The game turned, man, on that third interception down in that goal line, man. I don't know why you throw that ball up in there. And I heard you guys talk about the offensive line. It had nothing to do with that throw right there. I almost text you on that throw, D. I almost say, oh, my God. That throw right there is what run people crazy. Now, the whole thing, the other side of it is, it was a similar throw on the touchdown that Kittle went and pulled down. You know what I'm saying? It was like, whoa, that was. But that throw right there, when he left his hands, approached me, looked at, oh no. I said, oh no, and I think that was a turn. That was a turn in the game right there. You get a score there, you know, you're looking at hopefully a different game.
You said hopefully, though, when you looked at what Kansas City did in the second half,
right?
How much of a difference would it actually have made?
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you why I say hopefully. Because Kansas City's still working on finding that guy, and that even though they're winning, they're still looking for that guy. Who's the Tyreek Hill replacement? Still looking for that guy, right? Juju Smith-Schuster made some plays, had over 100 yards. You know what was funny? And I saw it. I wish I would have seen it before I went on Monday, but I didn't. I saw it Monday afternoon. Juju Smith-Schuster in an interview, right? And he was telling everybody how he had played him, Travis Kelce, and all those guys had played Fortnite all night with Patrick Mahomes. And the first thing I said was, bam, right there. You see, that, and you ask why would that make a difference? That's the difference right there. You see, Patrick Mahomes, if he has a gift of influence, he's trying to influence his guys. Why do you think he's playing Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever he was talking about? He's playing it to build a relationship and a union with his guys. You know what I mean? They, I thought, in that game, built some of that. Built some of what Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay doesn't have and can't have. Because Aaron Rodgers ain't going to spend the whole damn night playing no Call of Duty with his wide receivers like Patrick Mahomes does, like Patrick Mahomes did. And that's what I was talking about. You know, could have been a difference because you're trying to catch them before they get the ultimate confidence. Yeah, this is working right. Yeah, we're doing good. That kind of thing is what I was talking about.
Michael, whenever we've had you on, you know, we have steered so much conversation towards Deebo Samuel's way. We probably haven't talked enough about Brandon Ayuk, who I think is turning into a real NFL player right in front of our eyes, man. This guy might be the best opportunity the 49ers have to stretch the field with a wide receiver. What do you think of Ayuk, and what is he better at now than he was 2 years ago?
Oh, man, just understanding the game. Now, you know, ultimately, when you're Ayuk, you're playing so much inside, you don't think inside, you know, because there's so many positions that Kyle Shanahan puts you in. You know, and the difference between playing one space and another, it makes Debo Samuel so fascinating and so great. A lot of guys play outside, can't play inside. I don't want to play inside. It's too much to read, too much to think, too much to know, not enough just football. I just want to go beat this dude's butt. I don't want to figure out what a linebacker or the safety, what they got to do, this, that. I just want to beat that dude butt. And when you're going inside and all that stuff, you're doing all those things, especially in that system. Oh my God, it's a difficult system, and you got to learn all that. And then you go back to learning what I talked to you guys about knowing when to be open, as opposed to just knowing how to get open, and all of that stuff. And it brings confidence. He's getting that confidence now. He's making plays. I still think, even though that game didn't go the way he wanted it to go, I still think San Francisco is right where they want to be.
Define that term then, where they want to be. If their offense still is not quite clicking, and they're
in the thick of things, you're still in the thick of things. Hey, nobody's in the NFC West has pulled off from you. You got Seattle. You can go. You know what I'm saying? We do the right thing. I'm not saying it's wrong. And trying to project what's happening and who's winning what and who's going to do what and what the team look like and breaking down every aspect of the team for the long haul. That's long haul stuff. What we're really trying to do is right now in the short haul win this division. And that's what I mean when I say you still got everything right here. You still got a chance at even winning this division.
Michael Irvin here on 95.7 The Game. So, you know, we got Week 7 officially in the rearview mirror. It's time to start looking ahead to Week 8 already. It gets going in 48 hours with Thursday Night Football. But all of a sudden, let me just ask if you think this Bears-Cowboys game that is coming up this weekend changed it all in your mind based on what Chicago did to surprise, I think, everybody in the league last night by not just beating the Patriots, but really manhandling them in Foxborough.
They manhandled the Patriots. I was shocked. at how they did the Patriots, man. I had no idea that there was no way that would happen. No idea. No way that would happen. So yeah, I tell you what, I think that does put some pressure on everything on this side. You know what I'm saying? With Dallas. And it's the game now. It's the game that worries me. Because I do believe when a team like this here, they can run like they can run, that's Dallas's here. I told you that last year when we were getting ready to play you guys. A team that can run and power Dallas, that's the Achilles heel. And that's the thing I worry about. But the good thing is they didn't play great in Dak's return. So no matter what, they're going to want to show up a little bit better, and I think they will.
What are the things that you saw in the game Sunday with the Cowboys that made you think that okay, they've got stuff squared away? Because they were playing a Lions team that, after an interesting start, is starting to play like the Lions again.
Yeah, I was worried, man, and I was worried about them playing the Lions because St. Brown was coming back. I'm going to say Brown was coming back. Of course, you know, he got a concussion early in the game, but he makes such a difference for that football team, you know, such a huge difference. So I was worried about that. But they've fallen off. But this week difference. What I saw last week was I saw the Cowboys fight through some adversity because, you know, you go down. Did you see that last play that Michael Parsons made right before the half? And then the next play, they fumbled. I mean, Michael Parsons, that right there, I don't know, if I'm a coach, I'm taking that play out. It's a play down the goal line. Michael Parsons ran. Guy was on his way to the goal line. Michael Parsons ran by defenders and caught this guy and tackled him. The effort was incredible. Tackled on the half-inch line. Next play, they fumbled the ball. Changes everything. They could have gone in, I think it was like maybe 7-6 and gone up 13, 6, something had a chance. But he broke right there. Yeah, I thought that was a huge turn for Dallas.
Special players.
It gave them confidence that they can win this game. Took that ball in at a big turn right there.
Special players are, by definition, game changers, and that was a game-changing moment for sure.
You know what play I'm talking about, D? It was a game changer. I don't expect you to watch Dallas.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I got red zone lines were in the red zone. I saw it happen. Absolutely, I had my eye on it for sure. Getting back to where things went wrong with the 49ers, you get inside the Chiefs' 35-yard line 5 times and only have 13 points to show for it in the first half. Like, that's where you lose to Kansas City right there. You got to be punching that end zone. You just have to. And you could feel the frustration, I think, building post-game with quotes from Brandon Ayuk, quotes from George Kittle. By the way, here's what Brandon Ayuk said, Michael.
I just feel like we got too many people that can change the game to score 23 points. Like, people can ask about the defense, but at the end of the day, we got to score more points than other team, so that's how I feel.
George Kittle was talking about getting the ball in the hands of playmakers, and I didn't know if that was a veiled shot at Garoppolo or at Kyle Shanahan, or it's just frustration coming out in a post-game press conference. But, it's up to a quarterback to get the ball in the hands of playmakers. And, Jimmy has his attributes, but he's also got his minuses. And I don't know if getting the ball in the hands of playmakers is what he is really best at. And that's where I think so much of this frustration's coming from.
Well, all quarterbacks are trying to get the ball in the hands of the playmaker.
Right. That's
I don't see how he could be talking about Jimmy, and I don't see why he would be talking about Kyle Shanahan. That's an interesting quote right there. But because all quarterbacks, there's unless he's saying, I don't know, this Jimmy guy got something for me and something against me, and he won't give me the ball. You know what I mean? I can't understand. I don't know no quarterback that want to hold on to that damn ball too long. That's dangerous. They want to get it to your player. Let me give it to you. So I'm kind of stuck on that. I don't know where that goes.
Do you think Deebo Samuel, and I asked you this earlier in the year, is he really a one? And you laughed. You wrote back after he had that huge play against the Rams. Is he still a one? And look, that was an incredible play. He's had 2 incredible plays all year. That's it. He had a big run against Carolina or Seattle, I guess. He had a big run against Seattle, an amazing play against the Rams, a season-high 7 catches against Atlanta. But to me, he is still underused drastically, week in, week out, by Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. I'd like to see Deebo get 15 touches a game, for goodness sake. It's not even close to that, Michael.
I'm with you on that, buddy. I am absolutely with you on that. And there's nothing else I can say to that. I don't know why. I know you're going to get their attention, but that's nothing new. That's nothing new, So I'm with D-Hop came back the other day. We did that simulator game. I told you guys about it. When D-Hop came back last Thursday. They threw about 18 targets to him on his first day back. You see what I'm saying? On his first day back. So I know you're absolutely right. He should be getting his targets. And especially with all the different places that you put him, there's no way they can continuously keep him under wraps. He should be getting his targets.
Do you think that there could be a hot seat involved in Kyle Shanahan's future if Christian McCaffrey isn't what the doctor ordered?
Well, a hot seat almost implies sometimes, dude, a hot seat, job's in trouble. Boy, he's in trouble. I want you to understand this now. You can put them on a hot seat in San Fran. They're going to be having hot seats to give them somewhere else, is all I'm saying. So I don't think it'll be on a hot seat. I don't think it'll be on a hot seat at all, to tell you the truth. But I'm letting you know, if you put them on the hot seat, somebody else seat to be hot waiting on them.
When you watched 49ers Chiefs the way you did, how much of what happened when the Chiefs had the ball was the 49ers not having their best players out there all the time, and how much of it was the Chiefs going to score 6 touchdowns against anybody?
Well, I don't want to say the Chiefs scored 6 touchdowns against anybody. They didn't do it against Indy, you know what I mean, and didn't do it against the Bills. But so I won't say anybody. But not having all your players that plays a large role. Getting guys back that game. I know we got a lot of guys back that game, but you know that was their first game back. You know, all of those things, man. It just so yeah. But you can't take away the credit from Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's just a different dude, man. It's a different dude. He gives you second and third times to beat your corner, or to beat your man, or to get open, or to find room to get open. And that's a hard thing to be, especially, it's hard to stop at full strength, let alone talking about not being at full strength. What I'm seeing him do this year, too, is like another level. I can't help but watch Patrick Mahomes and think about Steph Curry. Every time I'm watching him, I'm thinking about Steph Curry. This is how this man is revolutionizing the way we play positional quarterback.
Curry getting 33 a night early on here in the NBA season. We got Warriors and Suns, and look at Michael Irvin helping us do forward promotion. It's coming up tonight here on 95.7 The Game.
Curry off the chain, man. Curry just Curry ain't play. Y'all gotta stop this, boy. Hey, every time I look at that dude, man, I can't believe God made that right there. Like, what? That dude shooting up threes, turning around, looking at that crowd. I mean, dude. I mean, it's just incredible to watch, man. I really enjoy watching. I can watch him play anytime.
Well, I know how much you love sports, and you love excellence, and you love players who can maintain season after season of excellence, because that's really what excellence is in professional sports. I mean, anyone can have, not anyone, but a lot of guys have 2, 3, 4 years, maybe at the top of their position in their respective sports, but to stay there over a decade, it's really, truly amazing. And I guess that's what brings us
true greatness. It's true greatness. I always say great is I had a moment in time. Greatness is I had many moments over time. You see what I'm saying? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This dude is greatness. I got many moments over time. He just does it over and over and over and over and over again.
Well, let me apply this topic.
That monomaniacal about being this great is a great thing to watch.
Let me apply this topic then to our last question. Do you think either Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers will have a return to greatness in them before their careers end?
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers can still return to greatness if they go find him another Devontae Adams. Greatness, it's kind of like the kid. You go through stages as kids. Before you and
oh no, the greatness of Michael Irvin's cell phone is now in question.
It's not in question.
It's correct. It is.
That's a 44-23 loss.
It's failing right now. It got blown out in the second half right there. Rough fourth quarter. That's really all the time we have from you can let him go. We talked to him twice last week, for goodness sakes. I'm sorry we didn't get the final answer.
The battery died because of that.
The greatness question?
No, just the fact that we keep going back to him.
We probably are pushing those minutes.
You might want to get a charger.
Charge it up. We do have him back?
Yeah, he wants to finish this.
Fantastic. So here's what I love about Michael. He wants to finish the answer to this question. This is a man who understands greatness.
Right. I was telling you, Aaron Rodgers, they find him another Devontae Adams. That's simple. His physical skill set's still there. Tom Brady is going through that process like a kid. You become a kid. You're a kid first, and you need all the help you can get, and then you grow up old enough to start doing things on your own as an adult. And then you go back to being like a kid when you're elderly. As you get older, you need more assistance and more help. That's what Tom is. He's in that elderly stage where he needs that assistance and needs help. And right now, he's not getting it. Right now, he doesn't have that Blanky, that Wes Welker, that Julian Edelman, because Chris Godwin isn't totally healthy. And you know what I mean? So they have a chance to still right the ship because the division is right there. But it's going to be interesting watching these two greats.
What was your main entree at the Post Malone dinner?
What did I have? What did I have at the Post Salon dinner, man? Yeah. Man, I think did I get a steak? Yeah, I had a steak. We were chopping up all kinds of food, tasting each other's food. You know what
I
I'm
like
saying?
family style. Absolutely, everyone get a little of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Try a little of everything, and the main entree was really the vodka. To be honest,
there you go.
The vodka was the main entree. That's what that was.
You're the main man. Thank you so much, Michael. Always a pleasure.
Oh, always good talking to you guys, man. Appreciate you.
Michael Irvin here on 95.7 The Game. I mean, it's Dallas. It had to be steak, right? I mean, that's the way it goes. I don't think there is a main entree other than steak available in the state of Texas.
Oh, they'll do some Mexican food.
See, how would you know? How would you know? Mr. Never Burrito?
No, the fact that I don't eat it doesn't mean I don't see when there are a lot of Mexican restaurants.
Okay.
I mean, I can read. No,
Ratto, literate.
Yeah. I mean, Houston is steak, but it's also seafood because it's significantly closer to
close
Gulf.
to Galveston there, is that what it is?
So, but, go with what you know.
There you go. Michael Irvin, we always know he's fantastic. By the way, if you missed him, we'll have that back for you in our 5 o'clock hour, so stay tuned.
Minus about a minute.
When we do come, we're going to edit right through that. You'd never know his phone dropped. We are going to come on back here and turn the spotlight just for a moment, if you will allow us, on first name Stephen, last name Curry, because he is off to a hell of a start. 3 games, small sample size, I get it. Off to a hell of a start. So stick around, much more coming up. It's Damon and Ratto here on 95.7 The Game. Michael Irvin was outstanding. As always, we are brought to you by Fremont Bank. Full-service banking, no compromises.
At BMW of Fairfield, our guests work with one client advisor through the entire transaction. No handoffs to multiple car salesmen. No waiting for a finance manager to take you to a back room. Client advisors at BMW of Fairfield are thoroughly trained in every aspect of the process, so they can lead you efficiently and effectively through the purchase from start to finish. There is a better way. Experience it for yourself at BMW of Fairfield. One price, one person, 1 hour.
If you owe back taxes to the IRS, have unfiled returns, or are worried about an audit, the IRS is hiring 87,000 new agents to address these very issues. That means if you need to get your tax problems resolved, now is the time to get started. I'm tax attorney Robert Goldstein, and my firm specializes in helping individuals and small businesses resolve their tax problems. We work to stop IRS and state seizures. We may be able to settle your tax debt for pennies on the dollar with an offer in compromise. We prepare your past due returns, even if you have no records, and represent you before the IRS and state in an audit. At the law offices of Robert Goldstein, the consultation is always free, and we have offices located throughout the Bay Area. To schedule your free consultation, call 1-888-TAX-EXIT. That's 888-TAXEXIT. 888-TAX-EXIT. And make us your last stop.
If you own a business, this has been a bumpy ride. From pandemic to inflation, I'm sure you could use a break. If your business has 5 or more employees and survived COVID, you might be eligible to receive a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee. The challenge is getting your hands on it. Hi, I'm Howard Mackler, and that's why I founded GetRefunds.com to cut through the red tape and get you the money. The team of tax attorneys we have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. We do all the work, charge not a dime up front, and simply share a percentage of the cash that we get for you. Businesses of all types can qualify, including those that took PPP, nonprofits, and even those that had increases in sales. We have helped return over $1 billion to businesses, and we can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com/sports, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. This payroll tax refund is only available for a limited period of time. Don't lose out on up to $26,000 per employee. Go to getrefunds.com/sports. That's getrefunds.com/sports.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-200-1966. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
Alice at 97.3 is celebrating the return of Alice in Winterland. Friday, December 2nd at the SAP Center in San Jose. Starring John Mayer. One Republic.
See you at Alice in Winterland.
Matt Nathanson. Plus more to be added. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster. Get everything Alice in Winterland at radioalice.com.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake replacements, oil changes, washes, and so much more. Get $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50.
Locked On Warriors is a daily podcast covering your favorite team, the defending world champion Golden State Warriors. I'm your host, Cyrus Softas, and every Monday through Friday, Locked On Warriors brings you all of the biggest Warriors stories in around 30 minutes. We cover Stephen Curry and the dynasty that is one of the greatest teams in the history of this beautiful game. Listen to the Locked On Warriors podcast every day on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Kansas City Steak Company, another AmericanEagle.com success story. Started in 1932 as a family-owned butcher shop, today they're a leading distributor of superior all-American steaks delivered right to your door, ready for the grill and your taste buds. When it came to their website, an average site wouldn't do. They chose AmericanEagle.com to take their website to the next level. With a dramatic increase in competition and a softening market demand, they had two challenges: improve their brand presence and message, and produce a positive return. AmericanEagle.com got to work and executed usability studies and detailed audits of site experience, digital assets, and marketing. The result? An integrated digital marketing and customer experience plan, organic traffic increase of 20%, and a long-term roadmap for success. If you love great steaks, go to kansascitysteaks.com for website design, development, and online solutions that bring efficiency and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. If you need a results-driven website, call the team at AmericanEagle.com at 877-WEBNOW1. That's 877-WEBNOW1.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Now back to Damon and Ratto on 95.7 The Game.
Outstanding stuff with Michael Irvin. I feel bad for any man who is invited by another man to gaze upon my tattooed butt cheeks in this steam room so I can show you how much I really like the football team you used to play for. Ray?
No. No. Just no.
Tune in to Warriors Live tonight at 6 o'clock here on 95.7 The Game. Get you ready. Xfinity will supercharge your supersonic Wi-Fi, unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity. Our pal John Dickinson is going to get you ready for Warriors and Suns tonight. Ray, it's the Western Conference Finals that the Suns never got to last year, and we'll get to do it all in one game. We don't have to play 7 games here against the Phoenix Suns. But 7 o'clock tip-off time tonight here on 95.7 The Game. It is going to be televised on TNT. Look, right now, I've always said the phrase "schmau shampoo shies" is literally invented to just rob anyone of your temporary or short-earned enthusiasm. So I don't like it. And I think the Warriors got enough track record where you can say, hey, that might be who they are this year, other than a small sample size. Ray, guess where the Warriors are in NBA scoring?
Well, they're first because I think they're at 127 a game.
125.3. They are first in the NBA right now in scoring through only 3 games, mind you, but that's pretty darn good. Obviously, you got the Kings giving you a path to an easy victory. The Lakers were a path to an easy victory. The Denver Nuggets, that was a loss. By the way, it turned into a path to an easy victory last night for the Portland Trailblazers. More on them in just a second. But Curry is just off to a phenomenal start. I mean, a really, really good start this year, and that's all you can ask for when you're still at the starting line. He is the NBA's third best scoring average at 33.3 points per game. He's making an NBA best 5.3 points per game on 44% shooting, which is a greater clip than his career average. You can't ask for much more than that. Hey, Steph, do you think you could start off with a better shooting percentage than your career average here to get the Warriors out of the starting blocks? And he has done just that. He's been spectacular. He really has been to start the year.
Yeah, there's only one player in the league who's played better than him, and that's John Morant. He's been ridiculously good. Shot better than Curry. Scored more.
Defensively, he's twice the disruptor Steph Curry is.
No. I'm talking about offensively. I'm not even getting into the defense.
No, but I'm saying that's what I've noticed from John Morant.
Yeah.
Ja's always been a scorer supreme. He has upped his defensive prowess big time.
Oh, no, yeah, I'd be willing to say he's one of the 5 best players in the league without much of an argument.
You're not going to get much of an argument from me.
Yeah, no, but I mean, whatever it was that he left on the floor when he got hurt during the playoffs last year, he has gathered himself and he's playing with a cause, I think, more than anything else, because he's not just playing, his own numbers. He's got 7 assists a game. So he's making sure that everybody else is involved. I think Memphis might end up being the second best team in the conference, if not first.
They're off to a great start, and they do have a supreme weapon in John Morant. He is all day and night long special. I don't think the Portland Trailblazers at the end of the year will be regarded as all day and night long special, but they are the Western Conference last remaining undefeated team. They are 4-0 with a win over Denver last night. And, I mean, give it up to the Blazers, who are just straight up chucking. They're taking 32 threes per game. 32 threes per game. Ray, if Reggie Miller existed in a world that it allowed an NBA team to shoot 32 threes in a week, much less per game, do you realize that guy is a top 3 NBA all-time leading scorer? I mean, no one's career would have probably had a greater arc change than Reggie Miller had the three-point shot been embraced in his time like it's embraced in this time.
I think, yeah, that's safe to say. Although if he was playing for Indiana now, as he did then, he'd be making a lot of points on a bad team.
Oh, hey, there were a lot of years when he was making a lot of points on a bad Indiana. They only had like a 4-year run at the top there,
Yeah, well, I mean, the Eastern Conference was much better back then.
Yeah.
I mean, because it wasn't just the Bulls. The Knicks were still good. That's how long ago that was.
Charlotte was good there for a little while.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Larry Johnson was a tough out. They were what the West was for as soon as Michael Jordan retired. The Western Conference was the better conference for 20 years.
Right. The minute Shaq left Orlando to go to L.A., that was a huge sea change in terms of conference power.
Well, the minute Michael Jordan decided that he didn't see much fulfillment in being a Washington Wizard, that helped too.
Hey, whenever you can be a Birmingham Baron, you do that.
Well, there aren't that many guys who get to do that. So, hey, what the hell?
Jordan
a couple years away from Jerry Krause was worth it.
It sure was. By the way, Dallas right now is number 1 in the NBA, taking 35 threes per game. That's chucking. One other NBA note, and then we're back into the NFL here. We're paying attention to Ben Simmons, so you don't have to. This is the job we do for you, the good listener. This is the burden that Ray and I carry. Well, at least I do, because I have morbid curiosity in what this guy's career is actually going to turn into. StatMuse summed up the start of Ben Simmons' career starkly, shall we say. Ben Simmons has played in 3 games so far this season. He has fouled out in 2 of them. He has 17 points and 14 fouls in 84 minutes of court time in over 3 games. It's going to
foul
take
every 7 minutes.
It's going to take a while for him to get back into rhythm, clearly.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't know if he ever will. I mean, because when I watch him, I see a guy who's thinking about what to do.
Totally.
At all times. Do I do this now? I mean, it's like the complete 180 opposite of Russell Westbrook, who's not thinking about anything other than what's my place in the universe right now. But Ben Simmons is the least instinctual good player in the league.
If we could only give Russell Westbrook's irrational self-confidence to Ben Simmons, he might really have something for the Nets.
Yeah. Or you might have a guy who takes jumpers with a lead with 18 seconds to go when you're not supposed to.
Hey, I mean, just him taking a jumper would be probably a breath of fresh air at some point for the Brooklyn Nets. But Simmons is averaging 6.6 rebounds, 7 assists on 54% shooting. Just to let you know where that is, right now Draymond Green is averaging 8 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists on 60% shooting, which, by the way, those are basically Dre's career averages minus about 2 rebounds a game. He's more at like 8, 6, and 6 in his career for his career averages. But except Draymond Green, look, I don't know what's got him off to such a good start in terms of shooting, but he's normally a 44% shooter. He's shooting 60% so far. So,
well, good shot selection. He's just not. Well, I'm standing here, nobody's guarding me. I guess I better take it. It's a fool's errand, so he doesn't do it anymore.
Yeah, he's out there making good choices since making a very, very bad choice to begin the year. So hopefully the Warriors look good against the Phoenix Suns tonight. Let me just say there's one other kind of interesting element to all of this. What does this series now look like that the Warriors have a legitimate here's the thing. They got 2 legitimate big bodies to throw at DeAndre Ayton. Kevon Looney might not be a typical NBA big body, but he plays like a real NBA center. He's a legit 5, and he's earned that respect. Kevon Looney isn't the starting center because Steve Kerr likes him. He's the starting center because he fits the Warriors perfectly as their starting center. But now you got the big body of James Wiseman to throw him at DeAndre Ayton. It feels like how about this? There's a move that the Warriors didn't even have to make when they played the Phoenix Suns basically over the last 2+ years. So,
and
it's the wrinkle.
And Ayton is what's going to define Phoenix this year more than anybody else, because if he is as interested in leaving now as he was when he signed that contract, I mean, I know that sounds ridiculous, but that was a grudge signing. If he's no more happy about being in Phoenix now than he was then, the Suns may not be much of a factor. They might be like a 5 or 6 seed. But if he decides, you know what, for me to make this work, I need to kick a lot of ass, then Phoenix is suddenly imposing again. Because I think that's how much of a difference he makes.
Have he and Monty Williams talked yet?
Not that I've heard, but I haven't paid much attention to that. I know as of opening night they hadn't.
By the way, one of the things that Michael Irvin said that I was surprised to hear him go down this thought pattern when he was bringing up how, sometimes going online and playing video games. I didn't think he was going to bring that up as a merit. I thought he was going to pivot to that's a demerit. And then all of a sudden, like if playing online video games with your teammates makes you better teammates, the Arizona Cardinals should be like the most kumbaya team out there. I've heard more Kyler Murray Call of Duty jokes in the last 2 weeks than I've ever heard a single player have a video game attached to their reputation.
Well, but the thing is, it's when you're playing with your friends that's the difference, because Ayton played Call of Duty for hours on end
by himself, I think.
And that's how he got with strangers, and that's how he got crossways with the Suns. So I think it's a matter of being in the same room and just spending time with each other that allows for that to happen. And Patrick Mahomes is playing chess. Like he's thinking like he was playing for a coach who wants his people to think.
This isn't just a game of Fortnite.
No, it's not. Yeah, it ain't who wins that. It's just we're hanging out together. We're not at a club. We're not. The cops aren't going to break in. It's just guys hanging out. And while they're hanging out, talking about their jobs.
By the way, here's a little breaking NFL news right from the front page of ESPN. Too bad this discipline arrived after the Chiefs left Levi's Stadium. Kansas City defensive end Frank Clark has been suspended 2 games by the NFL for violation of the personal conduct policy. Clark's suspension begins immediately. The Chiefs are on their bye this week, so Clark is going to miss games in Week 9 against the Tennessee Titans and Week 10 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's going to be eligible for return in a division game against the Chargers. Back in September, Clark pled or pleaded. Do you say pled or pleaded?
Pleaded.
Pleaded no contest in Los Angeles to 2 counts of misdemeanor possession of an assault weapon and was sentenced to 1 year of probation and 40 hours of community service. So there you go. The NFL did not make the world necessarily a safer place, and they certainly did not put this discipline on any timeline that tracked well for the 49ers. So that's what I have to say about that.
Well, the fact that they wrapped it around, they let him lead in with a bye week, that always makes me wonder, why did it take this long for you guys to figure out what you were going to do? And because they're not transparent about anything, it makes you wonder about everything. I mean, even stuff as simple as the Mike Evans officials thing on Sunday. You heard about that.
Oh, we got to talk about that, because that's fascinating to me, right? Did you hear what really happened?
Yeah. Basically, the official, went up to Mike Evans after the game. Mike Evans, the wide receiver for Tampa. And he asked for Mike Evans' phone number so he could give it to a golf pro who works in Tampa so that he could call Mike Evans to set up lessons between the golf pro and Mike Evans. So really, the official in question was a courier. And the original story was, he went and asked for an autograph.
Right.
Which turned out to be completely wrong.
Well, do you know what the common thread is through all of it that to me makes it more explainable and believable in terms of the NFL just came out with some nonsense excuse and, wrapped it around golf to everyone involved is a Texas A&M Aggie.
Yeah.
The golf pro who wants to give Evans the lessons, Evans himself, and the official who got the number all went to Texas A&M. So when things are done in the name of we're all alums, I'm good with it. I really am, because that's how being alums of a school works, and that's also how golf works.
Yeah, but that's not the issue for me. It's why did it take the NFL as long as it did to just, they just ask them, here's what we did. Is that okay or not?
Well, was this a hot burning topic? I didn't really see it.
Well, it was a hot burning topic yesterday, and then it doubled down into today. That's just simple, PR control. It's if we've decided this is benign and there's no reason to punish anybody, then come out right away and just said, we looked into it. We talked to Evans. We talked to the official in question. This is what happened. The golf pro backed their story. It's 3 phone calls. That takes 10 minutes. And it takes 5 minutes after that to put a release together. Instead, it takes 2 days. And the longer you wait, the longer you let the tinfoil hat brigade get involved. And once they're involved, no explanation you give is good enough.
Right.
So, yeah, I totally believe that that's exactly what happened. But the NFL did none of those guys any favors.
For those of you who are asking, what's the big deal to begin with? Well, it is an absolutely, it's part of the forbidden territory that no one who works around sports is ever allowed to cross and be perceived as professional. I don't care if you are an official. I don't care if you are a media member. When it comes to asking a professional athlete for an autograph, you have officially crossed an unprofessional bridge that there is, I don't want to say there's no coming back from it, but there really isn't. As soon as you are asking a player for a favor in any way, you should never ask anything of a player if you are officiating said player or covering said player, other than a quote. That's it. That, by the way, the CBA has a deal between the NFL and the Referees Association that says officials shall not ask players, coaches, or any other team personnel for autographs or memorabilia, and that any requests for items, because I know a lot of you are thinking like, well, what about an autograph for a charity auction? Or, my elementary school would love a Tom Brady autograph because they're trying to raise money for the Thanksgiving play, like something like noble like that. Well, requests for charitable purposes will be accepted. I don't know if they'll be granted, but they do have an avenue for charitable requests to go through the league office. So you can ask a player for a charitable contribution, but you have to go through the proper channels. You're just never allowed to walk up and say, hey, can you autograph this jersey so I can auction it off at some charity? But again, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. And
at least as far as we know, it's a plausible explanation for what happened. It just took too long for everybody to get their stories right.
I wasn't aware of a timeline on this other than because I really didn't hear about this until this morning because I wasn't watching any shows. And then I saw it immediately diffused about the whole, it's a whole bunch of Aggies just setting up golf lessons. I can live with it. I can live with it.
It broke as a tweet yesterday. Somebody saw it, on television or saw it.
The video looked terrible.
Yeah, it really did look terrible. And then, the NFL's, propaganda wing, which is NFL.com, got into it. They got it solved. They figured it out quickly.
Someone on the Xfinity mobile text line says, "What about when players swap jerseys and sign them?" Well, that's totally cool. That's a fraternity that everyone is equal in. Officials, media members are not in that fraternity. I mean, Ray, have you ever in your life seen a media member go up to a player and ask for an autograph?
Oh, yeah.
You have?
Well, nobody credible.
Okay.
But no, a lot of people would do stuff like that.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, and players would look at him sideways because, what are you doing?
As you should.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's forbidden.
But like an everyday beat writer? No.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I've never seen any interaction between a Bay Area media member and an athlete that really drifted into crossing any ethical boundaries. I haven't. So congratulations, assembled Bay Area media. You haven't thoroughly embarrassed yourself. You just are incapable of breaking a story on any beat that anyone covers, and I'm talking about all of you.
Well, the dynamic is way different now.
It sure
true
is.
Everywhere because where are all the stories broken now?
It's three guys. It's Adrian Wojnarowski or Shams in the NBA. It's Schefter or Ian Rappaport in the NFL.
It's Rosenthal or Passan.
Right. It's definitely not John Heyman or Bob Nightingale in baseball. As a matter of fact, their tweets are among the most useless when news is breaking, I think.
No, but the point is they're all nationals.
Right.
They're all national people because that's all the general managers and agents go through because you can get something distributed to the public a lot more efficiently if you get it on ESPN or Fox or one of the league networks. I mean that's why when people say, well, nobody breaks a story here. Well, yeah, no wonder. Their access is much less than it used to be because in post-COVID, you don't get to just sidle up the players and talk to them the way you used to. And if teams want a story to get out, 1-800-Jay-Glazer.
But you'd think that there would be enough inner working know-how among the most tenured where they were still in a pipeline of information that rarely, but sometimes, just occasionally trickled to them before it got to a national member. Honestly, the only local media member that I can think of actually having a legit scoop is when Dennis O'Donnell was like, hey, the Giants have traded for Hunter Pence. And then 6 people locally were like, no, it hasn't happened. And then 24 hours later, he had scooped everyone and it indeed happened.
Yeah, but that wasn't because Dennis O'Donnell went out and sought a story out.
No, somebody just
whispered in his ear.
Well, that's the thing. That's based on longevity. I mean, the amount of crap that gets to my ear before it hits the internet or web is significant enough to where if I wanted to ever get into the breaking news, rumor, business, I'd have a nickel to flip at you twice a year, maybe. But
oh no, absolutely not. An agent is definitely going to they're going to call one of the league guys. It's too easy. It's one phone call to somebody who will get the story out, as opposed to somebody who might have to wait for the news cycle to catch up with their newspaper.
Well, and it's
8 hours.
As Ethan Sherwood Strauss has pointed out several times too, what we have is a cabal of agencies who represent players working through media members who are also part of those same agencies.
Yeah. Oh no, it's profoundly incestuous, but it's always been profoundly incestuous, only in a different way.
But at least no one's asking you to look at their Dallas Star butt cheeks.
Again?
I thought I'd just keep... I'm going to return to it.
I'm planning to eat tonight.
So, look, hopefully the Golden State Warriors are planning to eat tonight. How about that? Was that a nice, smooth transition for you? Hopefully the Warriors are looking to get at it tonight. If you missed the Michael Irvin drifting into steam room butt cheeks story, we are going to have it for you at 5 o'clock. If you missed it, you missed a good one with Michael today. He talks about dinner with Post Malone. He talks about knowing him pre-Malone through his father. He talks about tattoos he'd rather not see in places he'd rather not be shown them. And then we get into, what's the subject we brought him on to talk about? Oh, yeah, football. We talked about that with Michael Irvin as well. So some good stuff coming up there indeed. We do have Warriors basketball for you tonight here on 95.7 The Game coming up. But when we do come on back, there's obviously no such thing as a trade that comes without risk. This is a risky trade for the 49ers. How does it pay off? How can Christian McCaffrey really pay off, considering they invested so much future draft capital in a luxury item, not really a necessity? Or was Christian McCaffrey indeed a necessity and we're just needing to refocus how we're looking at this? I'm not criticizing the trade. I'm glad they made it. I think it's going to be interesting. If nothing else, it should be sexy. But did they need sexy? Or did they need a little, well, that's not sexy, a center, a guard, maybe another corner, maybe an outside linebacker? Would assets flipped for McCaffrey generated interest in places where they actually needed a little more help? We're going to come back. We're going to look at that here on Damon and Ratto. It is good to have you here today. 888-957-9570 to get in on your thoughts about Christian McCaffrey, what you think he's about to do for the 49ers going into a Rams game and then a bye week, and then Pistons better be firing for sure. Damon and Ratto here, brought to you by Canyon Chiropractic.
Neuropathy pain? Call Dr. Robert Dees, DC, 925-393-0100.
San Mateo, partly cloudy tonight with a low of 50.
Weather brought to you by Pfizer and BioNTech. This fall, there are now updated COVID-19 booster shots designed for recent Omicron variants. Learn more and schedule your updated booster at vaccines.gov.
There's a reason Comcast Business powers more businesses than any other provider. Actually, there's a few. Comcast Business offers the fastest, reliable network, the peace of mind that comes with Security Edge, helping to protect all your connected devices, and the most reliable 5G mobile network. Want me to keep going? I can. Whether your small business is starting or growing, you need Comcast Business. Technology solutions that put you ahead and give you serious savings. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for just $49.99 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Plus, ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying bundle. Offer ends 12/5/2022. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 50 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. EcoBill and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable based on Root Metrics US report. Results vary, not an endorsement.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks NyQuil High Blood Pressure for fast, powerful nighttime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. NyQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks NyQuil High Blood Pressure. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
No one knows where this market will go. Right now, it feels like a wild ride. But one thing's for certain, there's a way through it. And the experience and guidance of a Merrill advisor can help you get there. Because where there's a bull, there's a way. Find an advisor in San Francisco at ml.com/bullish.
Merrill, a Bank of America company. What would you like the power to do?
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, registered broker-dealer, registered investment advisor. Member SIPC, a wholly owned subsidiary of Bank of America Corp.
Attention! Did you or a loved one live at or near Marine Base Camp Lejeune in North Carolina between 1953 and 1987? If so, listen closely for this important legal announcement. From 1953 to 1987, Marines and their family members at Camp Lejeune drank water that was contaminated with hazardous toxins. The toxins found in the water at Camp Lejeune may cause health issues, especially later in life. Types of health issues associated with water at Camp Lejeune are numerous. If you or a loved one lived near Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation without going to court. Even if you were turned down in the past, a new law can allow you to file a claim today. If you or a loved one spent time near Camp Lejeune, call the Negligence Network to find out if you're eligible for financial compensation. There's no fee unless we win your case. Call 1-800-700-4333. That's 1-800-700-4333. 1-800-700-4333.
Let me guess. Unknown caller? You could reduce the number of unwanted calls and emails with online privacy protection. The latest innovation from Discover will help regularly remove your personal info, like your name and address, from 10 popular people search websites that could sell your data. And we'll do it for free. Activate in the Discover app. See terms and learn more at discover.com/online privacy protection.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage. You know, changing your oil with a full synthetic oil like Mobil 1 can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP extended life oil filter for only $37.99. Get everything you need for better fuel efficiency at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The new Google Pixel 7 Pro is super, especially when it's on Verizon, the network America relies on. It's supercharged, super powered, and a super...
deal.
You know it. Now, switch to Verizon and get the Google Pixel 7 Pro on us with select trade-ins and select 5G unlimited plans.
That really is super.
Yep, there's never been a better time to switch to Verizon. $899.99 device payment purchase with new smartphone line on select 5G unlimited plans required. $200 Verizon e-gift card with ported. Less $700 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in conditions and additional terms apply.
San Mateo, partly cloudy tonight with a low of 50.
Weather brought to you by Pfizer and BioNTech. This fall, there are now updated COVID-19 booster shots designed for recent Omicron variants. Learn more and schedule your updated booster at vaccines.gov.
Muse is bringing their Will of the People World Tour to the Oakland Arena on April 14th, 2023. And 95.7 The Game has your shot at tickets. Enter to win now at 957thegame.com/contests.
Now back to Damon and Ratto on 95.7 The Game.
So we got a little Christian McCaffrey to talk about here and now. We've also got a little Aaron Judge rumor to throw at you before it's all said and done. This segment here on 95.7 The Game, 888-957-9570. But real quickly, just building off a conversation that we were having about how you're not allowed to ask for autographs or seek any favor from players that you cover. Aaron Rivera, who is on the chat line on our YouTube page, asked the question, does a reporter always have to be in sports reporter mode around athletes? In other words, what about off-the-clock interactions? Still can't ask for an autograph. Like, I believe that thoroughly. The closest I think you could get, if you did want such a thing, would be like you're at a charity event and you took a picture together, maybe. Like, trying to get more than that, to me, like, feels like you're getting into, that's maybe asking a little bit too much. Maybe a picture. Like, a picture together would be fine. Could we take a quick picture together to, off the clock? Hey, we're two people, normal people in the same place at the same time. Yeah, but you still shouldn't be asking for favors.
No, even the picture makes me squeamish.
Yeah,
because you're never normal people. Your jobs don't allow that to be true. The most you can hope for.
It's trying to normalize an abnormal relationship almost.
Well, you're trying to, but you're not doing it for any sort of publicity reason either. You just, hey, how's it going? We're totally off the record. Whatever you tell me will never see the light of day, and I won't tell anybody. But I'm not looking for news. And even at that, they're probably going to look at you sideways. So I think you're just better off just, closing the curtain completely. And go, I can't take a picture. Even if they asked you to. Just go, I can't. I mean, that might make it awkward.
Here's the thing. I think if the athlete invites it, that is a little bit of a change to the game.
Even then, but it's a perception thing. In the same way that the referee, allegedly asking for an autograph when in fact he was getting a phone number to give to somebody else, it still looks funny. And ethically, you don't even want the appearance of anything that looks funny. For me, I would pass on the picture.
Look, I could see how I guess it depends on where you're from. I think the rules are a little different, Ray, for a sports talk radio host.
Oh, no.
The
rules are defined by your employer.
Right.
If Nahigian, sobers up and says, "Yeah, you can do that," then you're fine. You could take the guy out dancing if you want to.
Here's the thing: I'm not a beat writer. Like, I'm not covering the team, asking for quotes in the clubhouse or locker room on a daily basis.
You're not covering the team,
right?
I mean, no. But the ethics are always drawn up by the employer. So if, Odyssey says, yeah, go ahead, do it, you're in the clear.
I mean, I'm sure they would want the picture just for the likes on Twitter or wherever we're putting
likes
things.
Is probably too strong a word.
Well, I don't know if anyone really likes what they say they like on the internet, but it does happen.
No, but what I'm saying is your employer decides what you're allowed to do.
Right, and just rules are different for ink-stained wretches than they are for yappers.
Well, not even, there are no more ink-stained wretches.
Except you.
Well, I'm an ink-stained wrench, but that's another story. No, it's, if you're covering the team for an internet operation and your employer doesn't want you to have the appearance of trying to be their pal, same rules apply. It's not about, it's not about the method of distribution. It's about how you're, gathering information.
I want to get back to Christian McCaffrey just for a minute here, because I think there's only one way that this really goes about paying off for the 49ers. And look, kids, I hate to tell you this, but results are never guaranteed. The only thing I think you can really want as a football fan, if you're being realistic here, I'm talking about realistic fans. Not pie in the sky. Yeah, I know. It's
an oxymoron.
I'm working a small room right here, but I'm talking about realistic fans, because there are many of them out there. There
aren't three.
The silent minority, if you will, of realistic fans who are in our audience. There are plenty still out there. I really, truly believe that. Results are never guaranteed. All you can really want is a football team that has a coach who designs a game plan that is multifaceted, versatile, can change according to the game that you find yourself in, with a well-built, well-constructed roster that stays relatively healthy. Like, if you can have all of those wishes granted to you by a football genie, chances are you're going to be rooting for a consistently good program, season in, season out, roster in, roster out. You should always be in the conversation of, ball bounces our way. This could be a really good year. Like, that's really what you're aiming for season in, season out. To say, that the only joy that could ever be found would be in a Super Bowl, and that's it for me, means you're going to have a lot more years not enjoying sports, the sport of football, than enjoying the sport of football.
Well, I mean, it's been 28 years. Why are 49er fans thinking that that is their birthright?
Exactly.
You know, I mean, who's kidding who here? You know, you can't sit there and prop up, you know, the 80s and just say, well, that's what we deserve. You know, I mean, that's like saying, yes, I was a member of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, therefore I'm still royalty, even though it disintegrated 100 years ago.
Hey, Ottomans over here. Show some respect.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's one of the many reasons why fans are annoying to me.
Well, we certainly love you, fans. Thank you for listening.
No. Not we, you.
Hey, they pay your mortgage too, buddy.
No, it's a guy with a beard in New York.
Yeah, that based on fans liking you determines how big or small that check is.
No, it's not.
You're biting the hand that feeds you right now.
I got a contract. When they decide they don't want to pay me anymore, then that's that.
Let me ask.
It's got nothing to do with fans.
You got bonuses built into that contract?
Never seen one, so I may as well not have any.
So if more people listened, what do you think happens, Ray?
I get stiffed on the bonus for another reason.
No.
Who's kidding who here? Go ahead.
Bonuses are kicking in, buddy. We're doing really well, in spite of you.
When I see the money, then I'll believe that.
Look in your next check. Seriously.
Yeah, we'll see.
Take a gander. Good summer book, Ray. You don't even know what that means. God bless you. Anyway, the point I was trying to make about Christian McCaffrey is simply this. Will he be a decoder ring that allows Kyle Shanahan to finally produce that multifaceted, can change on a dime, even though our philosophies don't change on a dime, type of game plan that really opens things up here? The entirety of Kyle Shanahan's offense, like I said, is run in a 17-yard box, anywhere from 12 yards beyond the line of scrimmage to 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. That's where the whole damn show happens, basically. But for the pass that Danny Gray will never have thrown to him again, certainly not before week 13 because he didn't catch it last week and he went offside. So, doghouse for you, Senior Gray. Which is a problem. Shouldn't be like that, but it's probably going to be like that. Anyways, McCaffrey hopefully opens up more recipes in this kitchen. That's all you can hope for. That's all he can really do because he can't provide the interior offensive line blocking that the team needed before they needed Christian McCaffrey. Again, Christian McCaffrey felt like a player like McCaffrey wasn't as necessary as maybe some other positions could have been necessary for the 49ers that could have been addressed with the capital used to obtain McCaffrey, even though McCaffrey's special. He's special. But does he solve or answer the questions that the Niners really had about their roster? I don't know. I mean, only time is going to tell. But on the surface, it doesn't feel like he is tailor-made to suit their weaknesses, even though the running game was a little bit of a weakness. But again, wasn't Ty Davis-Price drafted to help solve that? Wasn't Jordan Mason put on this roster to help solve that? Tevin Coleman was put on this roster, helped solve it to the tune of 2 touchdowns, and was just waived today. You're going to get Elijah Mitchell back. It feels like, Jeff Wilson Jr. ain't that bad. So I'm just wondering, what else could have been done, and did the fact that the McCaffrey deal had to come together so quickly prevent the Niners from maybe doing it, or their due diligence at other positions? And as was brought up earlier on the text line and the chat line on the YouTube page, saying that, hey, who's trading good offensive linemen right now? Good point. Feels like they're far and few between.
No, that's the point here. It's the market is what's available. And Christian McCaffrey is a much better player than anybody who will fill an immediate need at any other position. He was easily the best player available.
But isn't that a way to philosophically draft a team, not address in-season issues, where you are looking to fill needs more than best available?
But the theory is in getting him, you're not getting a one-dimensional running back who stays between the boxes. You're getting a guy who catches the ball out of the backfield and widens your offense so that it can become more dynamic. Because one of the things that made Deebo Samuel so dangerous as a running back last year is because he didn't line up in the backfield very often. He was out wide and then came in and got a handoff or pitch out, whatever it was. And the truth is that widened the field too. Well, now that they're not using him as a running back as much as they used to, in part because he didn't want to be that guy anymore, they had to replace that. So maybe in a weird way, that's a need too.
I think look, you might be right. You might be right. To me, and this is something that we bring up with Michael Irvin, who we're going to have for you again coming up at 5 o'clock here. Is Deebo being underused? I'll just let the cat out of the bag right now. Michael Irvin says, yeah, he is being underused. Get him the damn ball. 888-957-9570. Rich is in Fremont. What's going on, Rich? How are you?
I'm good, Damon. Hello, Ray.
Yeah.
Listen, I agree with Michael Irvin. I think that when it comes down to it, picking up McCaffrey was just not only a wise thing to do, but it was really tactful when you think about it. Because if it wasn't a good idea, why did all the teams want to go after him as well? Why didn't the Rams go after him? Why did some of these other teams go after him? Obviously, having him on the team is going to give your offense a jolt. Now, if they're going to solve all the problems they got, no. But I don't think they went and picked up McCaffrey because they were trying to solve all the problems. I think they were trying to do something that would bring the running game up another notch. They did that by picking him up. Now, as far as the offensive line goes, that is an issue. And they definitely need to do something about that because having him back there is nice, but if the defenses start coming in there and shutting them down on the run, you're going to have to send him out on the pass. And I also agree with Irvin when he says they're not using Deebo enough. Okay, that's something they got to do. Deebo is a weapon. But now you got McCaffrey. He's a weapon. So yeah, you need to do something with that offense. And more importantly, you got to do something with that defensive secondary. Oh, my God. Mahomes just went out there and just sliced and diced that secondary. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Rich. By the way, Grandy, what do you give me for Rich's oh, my God, put up against the Michael Irvin oh, my God?
Oh, my God.
Pretty good. Pretty close.
Yeah, not bad. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Rich. Thanks for listening. This McCaffrey situation is going to be really interesting to see how much differently he is used next week as opposed to last week, and then how much differently he's even going to be used after the bye week. He's quite a chess piece for a coach who fancies himself a chess master. I saw that Matt Barrows in The Athletic wrote, McCaffrey's lined up in the backfield with a fullback in front of him, deep in the backfield solo, offset in the backfield, and as a slot receiver, he ran the wheel route out of the backfield too, as opposed to being a slot receiver. So he basically, he can do an awful lot. He's a Swiss Army knife, and we know that Kyle Shanahan really wants a player who he can put anywhere. It makes you just have to double down on where he is at all times, and then Deebo Samuel compounding on that means you got two guys who could be coming from anywhere at any point in time. Barrows writes, what he didn't do, Christian McCaffrey, in his debut game with the Niners, was appear on any third downs or in the team's 2-minute offense. Given how quickly he got up to speed on the day that, basically he got up to speed in a day and a half that preceded the game, the expectation is that all the facets of this offense will be under his belt for Sunday's game against the Rams. The 49ers have been without a true third down back for the last 2 seasons, and that ought to be where McCaffrey absolutely excels in Shanahan's offense. And I really hadn't even thought about it, but yeah, who has been this team's third down back? They really haven't had that guy since, Raheem Mostert? And was Raheem Mostert truly even a third down back? I don't know.
Well, one of the things that when the 49ers offense ran really well, they didn't have a whole lot of third downs. So they didn't really have to assign somebody if you're looking for a third down back, that tells me it's 3rd and 1 and you need to gain a yard. That's what Kyle Juszczyk can do.
That's what Jimmy Garoppolo can do on 3rd and 1. Who's better than him sneaking it?
Yeah, okay. Well, then, to me, it's not about, needing a 3rd down back. It's about needing somebody who can catch the ball as well as run the ball. I mean, it gives them somebody who's as multifaceted as Samuel was last year. And as far as Samuel goes being underused, they're targeting him 8 times a game, which is, I think it's like 20th in the league. So it's not like they're avoiding him. It's just that, they haven't been able to make that passing game dynamic yet. And maybe McCaffrey, drawing attention to him allows that passing game to become more dynamic, at least, for a half a second longer than it is now.
Look, Debo hasn't had more than 2 carries in any game since the Denver game. Like, maybe that's where he's being underutilized. But we were also criticizing, at least I was criticizing Shanahan for becoming predictable with Debo. Like, if he's in the backfield, he's getting the ball, and teams know that. So he's not even really being deployed as a decoy back there. There's a lot to improve. Hopefully, Christian McCaffrey, like we were saying, helps them improve an underachieving, underperforming, underscoring offensive afternoon coming up soon, because you need one of those against the Rams. We will have much more on the 49ers coming up with Michael Irvin himself, the replay maker. We already had him on. We're going to start with a dinner in Dallas with Post Malone and Des Bryant, and then get into football, and then bounce around the league, come back to the Niners. There's a lot going on, including tattooed butt cheeks and the Michael Irvin interview that you're going to want to be part of.
I just don't know how anybody in their car right now wants to be part of that.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how you turn your car off when you hear tattooed butt cheeks being
Maybe to
served.
pull over and throw up?
Hey, hot cross buns. You never know where you're going to get them.
I'm dying here.
Would you like a hard to put much credo in but positive story about Aaron Judge to the San Francisco Giants to wrap up this hour?
Sure.
Why not? Randy Miller writes for NJ.com, which is basically the clearinghouse of all newspapers now in New Jersey that cover sports. And he basically says, without citing anything, I think maybe other than his own gut on this. Like, to me, if you hear this from Charles Johnson, Larry Baer, if you hear this from someone who actually represents the San Francisco Giants, then we got a story to talk about. But in the meantime, talking about Aaron Judge, he says, quote, Aaron Judge is at the top of the Giants list, and they won't be underbid, end quote. He attributed that to a person, Ray. People say things.
Ooh.
If they miss out, it won't be because of money, is what Randy Miller goes on to report on Aaron Judge's impending offseason. The person added that the Giants plan to entice Judge further by signing at least 2 high-priced free agents. Quote, the Giants are not going to stop with Judge. They have so much money freed up. They need to draw with the Dodgers and the Padres in their division spending big money on big names. I know the Giants are also feeling pressure within with the Warriors team doing so well and spending big in the same market. I do wonder about that. It sounds like, sure, keeping up with the Joneses is an element that goes more than one neighbor leaning across their picket fence to see how well the other neighbors, how green their lawn is. But I really think that when the Giants, Ray, put together their budget, they're doing so independently of how the Niners or Warriors or Sharks or anyone is spending.
Yeah, if that was a problem, you would have seen them spend more money this year. You would have seen them spend more money in 2019. That I don't think what the Warriors do impacts what the Giants do in any way, shape, or form.
I really don't either. Maybe a little market pressure. I would call it almost bragging rights more than pressure. I don't know how much really exists. One more quote here. A person. Boy, this person had a lot to say. Right. This person is really dialed in. A person close to Aaron Judge believes the Giants are Judge's number one choice and predicted it's going to be looking good next season for the orange and black. Ta-da! I'm telling you, dude, go out and get Trey Turner and Aaron Judge. All right? Go ahead and do that. Now we're playing some bingo. I like that. If the Giants would do that, they are instantly, no doubt about it, more interesting than they were last year. I can't wait to see who Farhan platoons for Aaron Judge after giving him $300 million over 6.
Yeah, it's
that would happen at some point. You know it. You just know it. Like game on the line, bases loaded. But here comes a righty. So
I mean, do you believe?
Here comes Mike Yastrzemski.
I mean, the question here is whether you believe that Charlie Johnson and his son Greg, who basically mines the money in San Francisco, are willing to jack up their payroll.
Are they about to spend $500 million on 2 players? Because that's the price of entry for Aaron Judge and Trey Turner.
Well, I was going to say like $80 million on their payroll.
I'm talking about overall contracts.
Well, okay, but I'm just talking about 2023.
Sure.
Because their payroll this year was for the 26 men that they played all the time, it was, when you add it all together, it's like $168 million. The Mets were 282, the Dodgers were 275, the Yankees were 264, and then the Phillies and Padres were 4th and 5th. I don't see this Giants administration going that deep. And I don't know if it makes a ton of sense to get a guy who's going to cost $50 million a year, and that's all you do.
If he sells tickets, and they'd be box office. The Giants should be as interested in that as they are in any standings.
They're interested, but is Aaron Judge interested in being the highest paid guy on a team that
didn't reach the World Series? He just kind of was.
Yeah,
he wasn't the highest paid.
No, but I'm saying does he want to be a $50 million guy on a team whose second highest paid guy makes $8?
Yeah, I'd be cool with it.
Not if you want to get back to the playoffs and be an impact player for that long. I'll have to see that to believe it, because if he's interested in what the rest of the team is going to, how they're going to spend for the rest of the team, he's not the only guy they're going to have to buy.
Michael Irvin, as we get back to football with one of the best conversations we've really ever had with Michael. I mean, this thing goes everywhere. Stay tuned. It's next here on 95.7 The Game. Damon and Ratto, brought to you by Fremont Bank, full service banking, no compromises.
Great cars and great customer experience are what define a great dealership. At BMW of Fairfield, we deliver on both counts. BMW of Fairfield is the top-rated BMW dealership in the Bay Area, according to Google reviews. We love selling the ultimate driving machines, but our success rests on the outstanding experience we provide our customers. It's a better way to buy and own a vehicle. Experience it for yourself at BMW of Fairfield. One price, one person, 1 hour.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off of every Warriors game. Brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity.
This is your time to cash in at Cache Creek Casino Resort. To rock and to roll. Over the hills and bluffs. Go all out or go all in. With 4 stars and rising stars, now we do more than ever, so you can do as much or as little as you want. It's your time to cash in at Cache Creek Casino Resort.
Everything, our farm, our stand, our pop-up shop, it really all started when we discovered the benefits of local, raw honey for our family.
And then we decided to turn it into a business.
We were looking for something to help us get up and running.
So we got the Chase Business Complete Banking Account.
It's more than a bank account. It comes with Quick Accept, which lets us take card payments anytime, anywhere in the U.S. using the Chase mobile app. Plus, we get same-day deposits at no extra cost. For us, it's more than honey. It's about sharing a little sweetness with the world.
Get the Chase Business Complete Banking account with the essentials you need to help get your business going. Learn more at chase.com/business-complete-banking. Chase for business. Make more of what's yours. Quick Accept is not available in U.S. territories. Enrollment required. Usage subject to approval. Same-day deposits available for payments before 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday to Friday. Fees and rates apply for checking and processing. Limitations and restrictions apply. Participants compensated. Merchant services provided by Payment Tech LLC and WePay Inc. Subsidiaries of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
The following is an attorney advertisement. If you get sidelined by a workplace injury, the workers' compensation attorneys at Boxer and Gerson can help get you back in the game. Our team of skilled attorneys will fight by your side for the treatment and compensation you deserve. We care about justice for injured workers. That's what makes us Northern California's premier workers' comp law firm. Call Boxer and Gerson at 510-345-2341 or visit boxerlaw.com for a free consultation. Boxer and Gerson, your life is worth the fight.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Are you interested in new career opportunities in the Bay Area and want to make a difference in your community? The SF Sheriff's Office is looking for people considering a job in law enforcement right now. If you're at least 20 years or older with a high school diploma or equivalent, the SF Sheriff's Office wants to hear from you. Enjoy full benefits, flexible schedules, and opportunities for growth and promotion. For employment announcements and more information, visit sfsheriff.com. That's sfsheriff.com to apply today.
Don't waste your time trying to sell your old car. Donate it to Cars for Kids. It's the easiest and fastest way to donate your car and get a tax deduction. Donate online at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your car today.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyonce's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
When Big Mobile charges you an arm and a leg, they're taking your money and your power. And your arm and leg. Boost Mobile gives your power back with an unlimited plan for $25 a month on one of America's largest 5G networks. We can't give you back your arm and your leg because we're not qualified surgeons. Unless you're an iguana who can grow limbs back. Switch to Boost and get an unlimited plan for $25 a month. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. New customers only. One line, $25 per month with autopay. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMC FM at HD1 San Francisco. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Now back to Damon and Ratto on 95.7 The Game.
The Hall of Famer himself, Mr. Michael Irvin. Nice enough to join us for a weekly chat. Thank you, Michael. Before we get into a lick of football here, we need to talk about this dinner you were at. How does a dinner with you and Post Malone and Des Bryant come together? Just tell us about the reservation process. How does that happen?
Well, first of all, how you guys doing?
We're doing great.
I'm thinking about Post. People reach out, and Post is a huge Cowboy fan. And he loves the Cowboys. His dad worked for the Cowboys for a lot of years. So when a long time ago, I was coming over, and I was running late. I called my guy Rich, and Post Dad answered the phone. I was like, hey, I'm looking for Rich. I said, Rich. He was like, who? I said, Rich. What is Rich? He said, Rich. He said, this is Rich. You know, this ain't Rich Del Ripple. This is not that Rich. And he told me who he was. I said, oh, this was before he had Post, of course. Then after he had Post.
So this is pre-Malone.
This is primo. This is pre-post. This is pre-post, right? But you know, he raised Post as a huge Cowboy fan. So you know, we're great friends. Matter of fact, I'll see him tomorrow because that night we went to dinner. He was having a show in Dallas that next day, but I was leaving that next day. That's why he moved it up to Wednesday so we could get to dinner. I was leaving the next day, but he's having a show tomorrow in Fort Worth. I told him I'm coming back in town. As a matter of fact, I got back today, and I said I'll see you Wednesday. So yeah, I'll spend some time with him Wednesday. I told my secretary to clear everything Thursday morning. I'll start working at noon Thursday.
That's a lot of Dallas royalty sitting at one table, man. That server must have been like, wow, look at this private table.
Yeah, Jose, we had so much fun, though. Oh my God, we had so much. You know, you have fun when you drink to the place where the dude say, all right, if they win the Super Bowl, we're going to get a tattoo. That's all drunk talk. You know, that's all.
But
right.
But you have to hold it to him because we have video evidence of it. Has anyone ever said?
And it's been so long since we've had it. There's no way he would back out of it.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
right.
he'll apparently tattoo anything on his face. At least this will make sense, I guess.
Right.
Have you ever been the subject of a tattoo in the past? Has anyone ever bet is your number tattooed on any other human that you know of?
Well, you know what? You're a skilled, technician in interviewing, and I just love to see you there. I love feeling you dance around. Like, wait a minute, this could go a lot of places. Let's make sure we get this out the right way.
I guess. Is this the only man that is tattooed 88 somewhere?
That's a good way of working that thing right there. As far as I know now, of course, as far as I know, at my behest, and me trying to get him to do it. Now, I don't know. I run into many guys out there that comes up and says, I've been in the steam room. This is why I built my gym in my house. I said, okay, no more of that. Like I used to go to work out at the gym, and when I get to the gym after my workout, I like to go sit in the steam, get a little steam in. And I'm sitting in the steam. You know how many dudes? I mean, literally, I know this is no joke. I'm sitting there literally reading. I fun up something. I take my homework and I fun it up to 2024 so I can see it in the steam room. I'm literally in there reading. You know how many grown men are coming up and turned around and bent their booty over and said, Michael got a star right here. I said, dude, you're a Cowboy fan. You ain't got to be doing this right here, though. I mean, come on, dude. Dude, I'm telling you, this is a true story. I'm looking at this. You're a grown-ass man. Why are you bending over showing me a star on your backside? It's the most crazy thing in the world. But I don't know why they think that's the right time to tell me.
I guess this is officially called the price of fame, is it not?
Yeah, when is the right time to do that?
Probably never. At least when we're out, after you get dressed. Hey, man, I got a star in a secret spot back there, man. You'll never see it, but I got it back there. I'm saying, dude, that's cool. I believe you. I don't want to see it, but I believe you. You know what I'm saying? That's how that conversation's supposed to go. You ain't got to bend your butt over in front of me and show me your stuff. I see a whole lot more than just this stuff. I don't want to see.
You need better friends.
Yeah. Michael Irvin.
Those are strangers, not friends of mine. I guess that's why they felt this. The only chance they got to get it out.
Steam rooms aside, dinners aside, let's get to what we wanted to bring you on to talk about. But seriously, that looked like a hell of a dinner the other night, and we'll see whether or not
so much fun.
There's going to be an 88 on Post Malone's face come post Super Bowl. What do you think of Christian McCaffrey's debut with the 49ers? Obviously, the game did not go well, but what did you think of his reps?
The game turned, man, on that third interception down in that goal line, man. I don't know why you throw that ball up in there. And I heard you guys talk about the offensive line. It had nothing to do with that throw right there. I almost text you on that throw, D. I almost say, oh, my God. That throw right there is what run people crazy. Now, the other side of it is, it was a similar throw on the touchdown that Kittle went and pulled down. You know what I'm saying? It was like, whoa, that was. But that throw right there, when he left his hand approach, looked at, oh no. I said, oh no, and I think that was a turn. That was a turn in the game right there. You get a score there, you're looking at hopefully a different game.
You said hopefully, though, when you looked at what Kansas City did in the second half,
right.
How much of a difference would it actually have made?
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you this. Why I say hopefully. Because Kansas City's still working on finding that guy, and that even though they're winning, they're still looking for that guy. Who's the Tyreek Hill replacement? Still looking for that guy, right? Juju Smith-Schuster made some plays, had over 100 yards. You know what was funny? And I saw it. I wish I would have seen it before I went on Monday, but I didn't. I saw it Monday afternoon. Juju Smith-Schuster in an interview, right? And he was telling everybody how he had played him, Travis Kelce, and all those guys had played Fortnite all night with Patrick Mahomes. And the first thing I said was, bam, right there. You see, that, and you asked why would that make a difference? That's the difference right there. You see, Patrick Mahomes, he has a gift of influence. He's trying to influence his guys. Why do you think he's playing Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever he was talking about? He's playing that to build a relationship and a union with his guys. You know what I mean? I thought, in that game, built some of that. Built some of what Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay doesn't have and can't have. Because Aaron Rodgers ain't going to spend the whole damn night playing no Call of Duty with his wide receivers like Patrick Mahomes does, like Patrick Mahomes did. And that's what I was talking about. Could have been a difference because you're trying to catch them before they get the ultimate confidence. This is working right. Yeah, we're doing good. That kind of thing is what I was talking about.
Michael, whenever we've had you on, we have steered so much conversation towards Deebo Samuel's way. We probably haven't talked enough about Brandon Ayuk, who I think is turning into a real NFL player right in front of our eyes, man. This guy might be the best opportunity the 49ers have to stretch the field with a wide receiver. What do you think of Ayuk, and what is he better at now than he was 2 years ago?
Oh, man, just understanding the game. Now, ultimately, when you're Brandon Ayuk, you're playing so much inside, you don't think inside, because there's so many positions that Kyle Shanahan puts you in. And the difference between playing one space and another, it makes Deebo Samuel so fascinating and so great. A lot of guys play outside, can't play inside. I don't want to play inside. It's too much to read, too much to think, too much to know, not enough just football. I just want to go beat this dude's butt. I don't want to figure out what the linebacker or the safety, what they got to do, this, that. I just want to beat that dude butt. And when you're going inside and all that stuff, you're doing all those things, especially in that system. Oh my God. It's a difficult system. And you got to learn all that. And then you go back to learning what I talked to you guys about knowing when to be open as opposed to just knowing how to get open and all of that stuff. And it brings confidence. He's getting that confidence now. He's making plays. I still think, even though that game didn't go the way he wanted it to go, I still think San Francisco is right where they want to be.
Define that term then, where they want to be. If their offense still is not quite clicking,
and they're in the thick of things, you're still in the thick of things. Hey, nobody's in the NFC West has pulled off from you. You got Seattle. You can go. You know what I'm saying? We do the right thing. I'm not saying it's wrong. And trying to project what's happening and who's winning what and who's going to do what and what the team look like and breaking down every aspect of the team for the long haul. That's long haul stuff. What we're really trying to do is right now in the short haul, win this division. And that's what I mean when I say you still got everything right here. You still got a chance at even winning this division.
getting back to where things went wrong with the 49ers, you get inside the Chiefs' 35-yard line 5 times and only have 13 points to show for it in the first half. Like, that's where you lose to Kansas City right there. You got to be punching that end zone. You just have to. And you could feel the frustration, I think, building post-game with quotes from Brandon Ayuk, quotes from George Kittle. By the way, here's what Brandon Ayuk said, Michael.
I just feel like we got too many people that can change the game to score 23 points. Like, people can ask about the defense, but at the end of the day, we got to score more points than the other team, so that's how I feel.
George Kittle was talking about getting the ball in the hands of playmakers, and I didn't know if that was a veiled shot at Garoppolo or at Kyle Shanahan, or it's just frustration coming out in a post-game press conference. But, it's up to a quarterback to get the ball in the hands of playmakers. And, Jimmy has his attributes, but he's also got his minuses. And I don't know if getting the ball in the hands of playmakers is what he is really best at. And that's where I think so much of this frustration is coming from.
All quarterbacks are trying to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers.
Right. That's
I don't see how he could be talking about Jimmy, and I don't see why he would be talking about Kyle Shanahan. That's an interesting quote right there. But because all quarterbacks, unless he's saying, I don't know, this Jimmy guy got something for me and something against me, and he won't give me the ball. You know what I mean? I can't understand. I don't know no quarterback that want to hold on to that damn ball too long. That's dangerous. They want to get it to your player. Let me give it to you. So I'm kind of stuck on that. I don't know where that goes.
Do you think Deebo Samuel, and I asked you this earlier in the year, is he really a one? And you laughed. You wrote back after he had that huge play against the Rams, is he still a one? And look, that was an incredible play. He's had 2 incredible plays all year. That's it. He had a big run against Carolina, or Seattle, I guess. He had a big run against Seattle, an amazing play against the Rams, a season-high 7 catches against Atlanta. But to me, he is still underused drastically, week in, week out, by Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. I'd like to see Deebo get 15 touches a game, for goodness sake. It's not even close to that, Michael.
No, I'm with you on that, buddy. I am absolutely with you on that. And there's nothing else I can say to that. I don't know why. I know he's going to get their attention, but that's nothing new. That's nothing new, So I'm with D-Hop came back the other day. We did that simulator game. I think I told you guys about it. When D-Hop came back last Thursday. They threw about 18 targets to him on his first day back. You see what I'm saying? On his first day back. So I know you're absolutely right. He should be getting his targets. And especially with all the different places that you put him, there's no way they can continuously keep him under wraps. He should be getting his targets.
Do you think that there could be a hot seat involved in Kyle Shanahan's future if Christian McCaffrey isn't what the doctor ordered?
Well, a hot seat almost implies sometimes, dude, a hot seat, job's in trouble. Boy, he's in trouble. I want you to understand this now. You can put him on a hot seat in San Fran. They're going to be having hot seats to give them somewhere else, is all I'm saying. So I don't think it'll be on a hot seat. I don't think it'll be on a hot seat at all, to tell you the truth. But I'm letting you know, if you put him on the hot seat, somebody else seat to be hot waiting on him.
When you watched 49ers Chiefs the way you did, how much of what happened when the Chiefs had the ball was the 49ers not having their best players out there all the time, and how much of it was the Chiefs going to score 6 touchdowns against anybody?
I don't want to say the Chiefs scored 6 touchdowns against anybody. They didn't do it against Indy, you know what I mean, and didn't do it against the Bills. But so I won't say anybody. But not having all your players that plays a large role. Getting guys back that game. I know we got a lot of guys back that game, but that was their first game back. All of those things, man. It's just yeah. But you can't take away the credit from Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that's just a different dude, man. It's a different dude. He gives you second and third times to beat your corner, or to beat your man, or to get open, or to find room to get open. And that's a hard thing to be, especially, it's hard to stop at full strength, let alone talking about not being at full strength. What I'm seeing him do this year, too, is like another level. I can't help but watch Patrick Mahomes and think about Steph Curry. Every time I'm watching him, I'm thinking about Steph Curry. This is how this man is revolutionizing the way we play positional quarterback.
Curry getting 33 a night early on here in the NBA season. We got Warriors and Suns, and look at Michael Irvin helping us do forward promotion. It's coming up tonight here on 95.7 The Game.
Curry off the chain, man. Curry just Curry, they play. I gotta stop this, boy. Hey, every time I look at that dude, man, I can't believe God made that right there. Like, what? That dude shooting up threes, turning around, looking at that crowd. I mean, dude. I mean, it's just incredible to watch, man. I really enjoy watching. I can watch him play anytime.
Well, I know how much you love sports, and you love excellence, and you love players who can maintain season after season of excellence, because that's really what excellence is in professional sports. I mean, anyone can have, not anyone, but a lot of guys have 2, 3, 4 years, maybe at the top of their position in their respective sports, but to stay there over a decade, it's really, truly amazing. And I guess that's what brings us...
True greatness. It's true greatness. I always say great is I had a moment in time. Greatness is I had many moments over time. You see what I'm saying? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
This dude is greatness. I got many moments over time. He just does it over and over and over and over and over again.
Well, let me apply this topic.
That maniacal about being this great is a great thing to watch.
Let me apply this topic then to our last question. Do you think either Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers will have a return to greatness in them before their careers end?
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is still return to greatness if they go find him. They find him another Devontae out. That's simple. He was still, his physical skill set still there. Tom Brady is going through that process like a kid. You become a kid. You're a kid first, if you need all the help you can get, and then you grow up old enough to start doing things on your own as an adult, and then you go back to being like a kid when you're elderly. As you get older, you need more assistance and more help. That's what Tom is. He's in that elderly stage where he needs that assistance and needs help, and right now he's not getting it. Right now, he doesn't have that Blanky, that Wes Welker, that Julian Edelman, because Chris Godwin isn't totally healthy, and you know what I mean? So they have a chance to still right the ship because the division is right there. But it's going to be interesting watching these two greats.
What was your main entree at the Post Malone dinner?
What did I have? What did I have at the Post Malone dinner, man? Yeah. Man, I think did I get a steak? Yeah, I had a steak. We were chopping up all kinds of food, tasting each other's food. You know what
I
I'm
like
saying?
Family style. Absolutely, everyone get a little of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. Try a little of everything, and the main entree was really the vodka. To be honest,
there you go.
The vodka was the main entree. That's what that was.
You're the main man. Thank you so much, Michael. Always a pleasure.
Always good talking to you guys, man. Appreciate you.
Fantastic stuff with Michael Irvin. People weighing in. Xfinity Mobile text line. I am dying. This is a great interview. It was. We touched on everything. Christian McCaffrey's impact, Brandon Ayuk's rise, a hot seat for Shanahan, butt cheeks in a steam room, what he had for dinner with Post Malone. I mean, we went through all of it. No stone left unturned. Steph Curry, what more do you want in an interview? I guess I could have asked him what his preferred cut of steak was. By the way, the correct answer is bone-in ribeye.
Well, then why would you ask him?
Well,
if you already had the answer.
Just to see if he knew that was the correct answer.
And if he didn't give you the correct answer, would you have chastised him?
It better have been porterhouse at that point. I don't want to hear he's some petite filet guy.
What if he said that though? Are you gonna badmouth him?
Well, I would have talked to him about that he's from Texas and he should know better, and that the petite filet is more of a demonstration of texture than actual flavor. You need more marbled, closer to the bone beef. And being from Texas, he should know that.
You need more fat, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Marbled always has offended me as a word in that context. Just say you need more fat.
Did anyone ever tell you that you're well marbled or anything like that?
No. Morbidly obese is about as kind as they ever were.
No, you're not morbidly obese. I know what morbidly obese looks like. That's like the my 600-pound life situation. You're not there. We're not there. You and me together would not be there.
You'll have to tell me what that is. There's a show about 600-pound people.
It's staggering. It's the ultimate. I feel better about my choices instantly.
Is it at least about how somebody who has reached that level of size is trying to combat it?
Yes, it's all about we are trying to make this better.
If it's just a circus show, then shame on the people who made it.
Well, there's an awful lot of that too. The amount of exploitation is off the charts. Anyway, there you go. Everything you could possibly want in a Michael Irvin interview. Odyssey app listener, thank you very much. Someone says here, I love and prefer my Ray well marbled. Well, don't we all? That's where the flavor comes from. Look, we pay attention.
You need to read better text.
We pay attention to things so you don't need to. We've been paying attention to Christian McCaffrey's acquisition, and obviously you've been paying attention to all that too. One of the things, though, that we were getting into with Michael was, Debo needs more touches. I think we all agree that George Kittle probably needs more touches. Brandon Ayuk is playing himself into a more touches neighborhood. And how many touches you got? I mean, what if Christian McCaffrey... how many touches does Christian McCaffrey need to really be as impactful as he needs to be to prove the worth of picking him up? I mean, to get the best out of him, you're touching the ball 20 to 25 times, right?
Yeah,
10 out of the backfield as a runner, another 8 to 10 touches as a receiver. You would think, opening up a screen game.
I mean, how many plays do you think the 49ers are going to run in a game?
Well, that's the thing. What's their average? I'd put it at about 65, 70 plays in a game.
I don't even think it's 70.
I mean,
I'd have to look.
With their tempo, you might be right. That's the thing. If they want to get more touches, play faster. Playing faster doesn't seem to be a thing that they're pivoting towards.
I don't think they've ever played faster. I don't think that's what they do.
Are they going to do it now? Will they do that now just to get the ball into their hands of more playmakers? Feels like that would be part of it, right? I mean, Christian McCaffrey has never been a low-volume player. Trying to turn him into that. Somebody says it's not the quantity of touches, it's the quality of touches. Yeah, sure, but at the same time, it's like buying a lottery ticket. You never know which one is going to equal the big play, so the more lottery tickets that Christian McCaffrey is sold by this coaching staff, the more chances are that he's busting out a big play.
I got the Niners at 22nd in the league. They're running just over 61 plays a game.
Not bad. That's good instant on-the-spot research, Lucas.
22nd in the league, though.
It's not good.
How about that hurry-up offense you were worried about?
Hurry! That's the thing. Go faster. It feels like it's not games that dictate that outcome. It's their own pace of play in those games that's dictating that outcome.
I have them at 16. I don't know where you're getting your number, but 428 plays is what I'm looking at.
We'll continue to do some research. StatMuse is where I went, though.
Okay. I went to the NFL.
Oh, look at Ray.
I don't trust him.
I'm a company whore.
Just dunking on you. I'm at StatMuse. I'm at NFL.com.
Well, Ray, are you looking at total plays or plays per game? Because with bye weeks, it kind of fluctuates the numbers.
Yeah,
they haven't had their bye, but they haven't had their bye week yet.
Well,
they have not had their bye.
Yeah,
week.
Others have though.
But it's only 2 weeks of bye weeks. It's not a lot of teams. It's just like 6 teams that have been on a bye.
There's 8 teams who have been on a bye, but
don't get all NFL.com-y with me, Ray.
I'm just telling you what the right number is. Don't you snap at me. I'll turn 557 into 527 before you know it.
Oh, what do you think? You can well marble this hour? I can fatten it up. We can go to 59 if you want.
Hey, you can go to 59. I know when I leave.
Company man. You just said you're a company man.
Not this company.
Not Odyssey.
Yeah, no, God, no. I'd turn them over to the feds for a sandwich.
By the way, look, no one's ever accused me of being a company man. Have you seen the architectural renderings for the Dome Stadium that the Tennessee Titans are planning?
Yeah.
Did you immediately think what I thought too?
I don't know what you thought.
Well, you're following me on Twitter. You've seen this, right? You paying attention?
It got by me.
There isn't a single architectural moment in sports where Levi Stadium doesn't look worse. There isn't. And I've had tons of people in my mentions about, like, look, Damon, you got way into how much you didn't like Levi Stadium, but now I've gone and you know what, you're right. It is just the only thing that even suggests that might be the stadium of the San Francisco 49ers are the red seats. Like, that literally could be anybody's stadium. Anybody's. There is nothing that is architecturally unique or even interesting about the place. And you look at these palaces that are opening up everywhere else. Do you realize that when they built Levi Stadium, they were more interested in making it, this ecological wonder that created no pollution than like an actual great stadium for the San Francisco 49ers. And, there's got to be a little middle ground that they could have reached there.
That's not why that stadium, doesn't look very good, because Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, where the Kraken play, is a great-looking arena.
Well,
it was a choice. It was a choice about getting it built quickly and cheaply.
Absolutely, it was.
So that's not about the ecology. That's about, let's get this done quick.
Oh, sure. And they wanted that early Super Bowl. And let me tell you what they're probably never going to get. Like, they can't.
Oh, they're done. No, they're done with Super Bowl.
They can't even book a Pac-12 title game, much less a Super Bowl anymore. They have been so thoroughly lapped in terms of where fans want to be and the amenities that are then available for fans by what's happening down at SoFi, what is happening now. Las Vegas isn't on the West Coast, but any single team that's looking to go West Coast is going to put a game in Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas before Levi's Stadium.
Allegiant Stadium or the hockey arena or the basketball arena that's going up too. I mean, no, Vegas, that's what they do. And the truth is they had a template in Dallas, because Dallas is one of those opulent sports palaces too. And that predated Levi's. No, they built it because it was affordable. And that's fine.
No, it's not.
No. The reason why it's fine is because a lot of tax money's involved there. What you got in Vegas is tax money for the football stadium that's gone now. But there was no tax money when they built T-Mobile for the hockey team. There won't be any tax money when they build the NBA arena. And that's, if you want to spend $5 billion on an arena, that's fine, as long as you're not basically dipping into public money for it. It doesn't matter to me how much a stadium costs, but that's not where public money ought to go. What the 49ers did was built in a hurry and built on the cheap.
If they didn't have a Jumbotron on the side of the stadium that sometimes displays a uniformed 49er, if the LED boards weren't lit with the word 49ers, I don't get it. What I also don't get are the 3 bridges that you have to walk across that trench to even get in there. Why didn't they put some sort of a pipe in that, whatever that is, the slurry, that estuary, whatever that little river of nothing is? Why didn't you put a pipe for the water to flow through and then, actually build grass or turf or something for people to walk up, so you're not pinching crowds to 3 bridges on entrance and exit?
Make the bridges wider, or just make a full-on ramp that goes over the slurry. You could have done that too.
They could have done a lot of things.
I'm defending the rights of the slurry.
You have always been pro slurry.
Yep. I've been pro slur.
Did you know Do you know what the name of the slurry that you walk across when you are going from the BART station outside of Oakland Arena into the Coliseum? Do you know the name of that slurry?
I'm drawing a blank. I remember it, but I don't remember it.
It's the Damon slurry. Named after me. It was very nice of them to do that, I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't think that
Particularly
Ace and
since
I
I'm
had that
guessing
kind of
it was
relationship.
named in about 1920.
Yeah, it does predate me by my entire lifetime. But yeah, it's the Damon slurry. Who knew?
Because I think there's another slurry that runs parallel to 66th Avenue, which is not the Damon slurry, I don't believe. I think there are a multitude of slurries.
They would have never built Levi Stadium if Harbaugh wasn't the coach at the time. They only got approval because they were winning with Jim. And let's face
That's
it.
simply untrue.
No, well, yeah, that's not true. They wanted a Super Bowl. They wanted to get out of Candlestick. And if they did do that, I can tell you that Jim Harbaugh hated the place. Like, it's part of the reason why he got fired. Because Jim Harbaugh walked into that stadium and just said, no. not that impressed. He hated the turf. And it was bad in the beginning. It really was.
Yeah, it was, Jim Harbaugh had nothing to do with that getting built. And Jim Harbaugh hating it had a lot more to do with him wanting to irritate the hell out of Jed York than anything else, because he knew that was Jed's baby. And so he took every opportunity he could to mock the building.
No one wants to hear, you got an ugly baby. But that's an ugly baby, and it gets worse with every newborn baby that the NFL is producing stadium-wise. It's bad. By the way, anybody feel the earthquake this morning? I did. Ray, you were on the ferry. You were on the boat, right?
I was on the boat.
Yeah,
I saw no Whitecaps.
There was a 5.1 shaker this morning around 11:45, and here's an actual story that I've been sitting on for a couple weeks here, but do you realize that we have even more to worry about? Even more to worry about. For years, seismologists have warned everyone about the big one, and I'll tell you, there was 2 seconds. I mean, my house shook for about 15 to 20 seconds. I had plates clinking in the cabinet. It's one of the bigger earthquakes, if not the biggest earthquake I've actually felt since living in Northern California. And I've been here almost 20 years now. But there's a new fault line, Ray. Stanford geologists have said that there is a new fault line that we didn't even know existed. It's called the Shannon-Monte Vista Fault, which is east of the San Andreas and runs from south of Gilroy through Silicon Valley and west of Palo Alto. Now, I don't believe that that's the fault line that shook today, but there you go. Whose fault is it? We have a new fault line to worry about. As if we needed more to worry about.
There's always something more to worry about. Just accept your doom. Just wait for the meteor and plan accordingly.
I'm just telling you, man. It's you weren't thinking new fault line.
No, I hadn't considered that.
You weren't. Right. There was a lot that we can plan for. There's a lot that we can anticipate. Brand new fault line. After the state of California, I'm guessing, has been so thoroughly researched for fault lines, we would have found them all by now. Quit being so smart, Stanford. Quit trying to earn extra credit, I guess I'm saying. Quit polishing the apple. You're all a bunch of smart people. Stop looking for things that are scaring the hell out of us, please.
I don't think they're looking for things to scare the hell out of you. I think they're looking for things that will inform you that you're screwed.
Nailed it.
Well,
nailed it.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the one that's going to kill you. It's not a big enough fault. San Andreas will take care of that.
Or the Hayward one. Let's not joke about that either.
Hayward fault's a lightweight. San Andreas is the one who's going to.
But the Hayward. That's if you're at a Cal game, if you're trying to enjoy Joe Starkey's last season in the booth.
Well, but I'm just saying, if you're talking about Stockton as an ocean port, it's the San Andreas that's going to get it done.
Is that your prediction? San Andreas will be the big coup de grace?
Yeah.
When that sucker moves, it'll be an interesting day, that's for sure.
It'll be a brief day.
Well, Yeah.
You'll be pulling rebar out of your eyes.
Yeah, look at it this way. The fact that it could happen means there is no even joking about that. I've always been stunned, by the way, that they actually named a team the San Jose Earthquakes. At what point in time is that going to be, like, deemed insensitive? You have to move on from that name.
I think it'll be fine. I don't think enough people pay attention to it.
Well, luckily, we pay attention to things that normal people do not need to pay attention to. It's one of the benefits. It's one of our features here as a show. We will pay attention to the things that you don't need to, and you don't need to worry about. One of those things is the Bird Gauntlet. We will give you a Bird Gauntlet update on the other side of this break. We're also going to unfortunately share with you a sad fact.
Oh, here's a sad fact before you go to your sad fact.
Please.
It's not called the Damon Slurry. It's called the Damon Marsh. It's been downgraded from a slurry in the 5 minutes that you mentioned.
I've lost my slurry status?
Yep.
Doesn't Damon Slurry sound so much better than a marsh? To me, a marsh is never pinpointed.
It's a swamp. It's a low-grade swamp.
Well, that's the thing. But a slurry is like a river of swamp that specifically goes in one direction. To me, a marsh would be a large swath of land that is very marshy. I don't think that they have defined it correctly. They should go back to slurry.
Well, take that up with the geologists who name fault lines.
I should call my buddy John Fisher and see if he has enough political juice to go back from marsh to slurry.
Political juice?
Again, he's supposed to build a $12 billion stadium. He can't even rename the slurry.
Yeah,
Do you like Slurpees, by the way? Have you ever had a Slurpee?
Yeah, when I was 8.
Did they have Slurpees when you were 8?
Oh, God, yes.
I didn't think they had enough freezing technology back then.
Well, the Earth hadn't heated up to its current ridiculous state by then. You actually had winters back then.
Like the official 7-Eleven Slurpee?
Well, I didn't look for a copyright on it, but you could go to a 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee.
I would love to see little Ray Ratto, your tiny hands around a big cup, smiling, enjoying a Slurpee. I wish I could go back in time and see that kid and ask him, what do you think's going to go wrong? Because I know what you turn into one day.
Oh, I'd probably just throw the Slurpee at you because it had already gone wrong by then.
All right. So when we come on back, we will properly send you to Warriors basketball. We will give you one or two more totally useless pieces of information to dazzle your friends and family with before it's all said and done. And that is how we serve the general population here on 95.7 The Game. It's Damon, it's Ratto. Warriors Live coming up next at the top of the hour. So stick around for all that. It's presented by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity.
The Eagles Hotel California Tour. Welcome to the Hotel California. Live in concert with a full orchestra. Performing their iconic album Hotel California, beginning to end, plus a greatest hits set. The Eagles. One of these nights. SAP Center at San Jose, February 21st. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same. But at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No. Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Tune in to 95.7 The Game for Warriors Live, 60 minutes before tip-off of every Warriors game. Brought to you by Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet only from Xfinity.
No one knows where this market will go. Things could change tomorrow, next week, or next month. At Merrill, we've been here before, and history shows this is the time to stay focused on your future. Because through every market, the bull will always have your back. Find an advisor in San Francisco at ml.com/bullish.
Merrill, a Bank of America company. What would you like the power to do?
Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, registered broker-dealer, registered investment advisor. Member SIPC, a wholly owned subsidiary of Bank of America Corp.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-200-1966. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-200-1966. That's 800-200-1966 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-200-1966. 800-200-1966.
Kirby is your driveway mechanic. They bring the shop to you with brake replacements, oil changes, washes, and so much more. Get $50 off your first oil change with code OIL50 at Kirby.com. That's CURBEE.com and use code OIL50.
Your most valuable asset is your time. So why should buying a car eat up your whole day? At BMW of Fairfield, we value your time as much as you do. So once you've decided on your next car and how you want to buy it, we'll have you behind the wheel of your ultimate driving machine and on your way home within 1 hour. There is a better way. Experience it for yourself at BMW of Fairfield. One price, one person, 1 hour.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
When you can't stop, there's Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub sends powerful medicated Vicks vapors right to the source of your... so you can experience cough relief and breathe easier. Generations of families have trusted Vicks VapoRub to help relieve the worst cold symptoms. So next time you have a cough, reach for the Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub. Cough relieving is believing.
This is Staples.
So rumor has it that Staples has everything I need to ship.
Mm-hmm. We have all the shipping supplies and services you need.
Boxes?
Yep.
Mailers?
Yeah, and we have UPS here in store.
Huh. What will Staples think of next?
Right?
No, seriously, I'm asking, what will they think of next?
Staples is your one-stop shipping destination. Now get 50% off shipping boxes, mailers, or tubes when you buy 5 of the same item in-store or online with 1 hour pickup. Staples, the best-kept secret in shipping. Ends 12/31. Exclusions apply. Visit staplesconnect.com/shipping for details.
Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Here's what happened today on The Game.
Presented by the County of Santa Clara.
The morning roast from 6 to 9.
I do think that Shanahan needs to take a hard look in the mirror and evolve. There's no doubt.
It's been 6 years, Dasky. How long do I have to wait for Shanahan to evolve?
Willard and Dibbs from 9 to noon.
We always say, oh, it's a week-to-week league. This year has been more of a week-to-week NFL than any year I can ever remember before.
Steiny and Guru from noon to 3.
The area that needs the most improvement is situational play calling. Steiny, it's just, I'm starting to believe you have it or you don't.
And Damon and Ratto from 3 to 6.
Look, to me, there's only one way that McCaffrey truly pays off. He's got to be the decoder ring. We can see the Matrix now.
The best of the game, presented by the County of Santa Clara. Book a COVID-19 booster shot now at sccfreevax.org or call 211.
Now back to Damon and Ratto on 95.7 The Game.
We are putting the finishing touches on this bad boy today. We want you to know that our man John Dickinson comes up next, getting you ready for Warriors and Suns. He's got a half an hour of pregame to 6:30. Then Tim Roy, he gets you ready from the arena. What is it now? Talking Stick, Crooked Stick Arena, whatever. It's where the Suns play, where Robert Sarver's been kicked out of.
It's not Mullet Arena. That's all we know.
It's not. Warriors and Suns tonight. 7 o'clock tip time here on 95.7 The Game. It's also on TNT tonight if you're going to be watching. And when the Warriors are at their best, man, they do see the Matrix. They turn into the Matrix. Matrix, obviously the former home of what? Sean Marion? Was that his nickname, the Matrix? It was for a minute there, and he was the son. So it all works. I love it when a show wraps up nice and tidy.
I love it when it wraps up.
I'm working so hard for you, Ray. Enjoy.
Keep going.
Enjoy. Okay.
In fact, put in your best 8 minutes right now.
Curry, off to a great start. He's got the third best scoring average in the NBA, 33.3 points per game. He's off to a heater, making 5.3 threes per game on 44% shooting. He is a career 42% three-point shooter, so he's shooting better than his career average to start this year. And that's why when the Warriors are at their best, they can actually go out there, they can see the Matrix. One guy who'd like to join that shooting party, by the way, is Klay Thompson. He had this to say about his early season slump that sees him getting 14 a game.
And especially when you feel like you're the reason your team goes through a slump. So it's nice to get that out the way early. Yeah, like you said, in October. That really helps me put things in perspective. You know, I'm such a perfectionist. I want to be great right now. But I got to realize, man, it's a long season, and I'd rather peak come playoff time versus early November.
There's no arguing with that. Ray, any slump, October preferably than June.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I mean,
in the NBA.
Yeah, I think you could say 8 months before the championship series is probably a good time to stink.
Yeah, 8 months before important basketball's even really being played. Yeah, that's the time to shake it out and get rid of the cobwebs and the rust. So Warriors will be back at it tonight. They are the best show out there in the world of sports, and I am looking forward to having me some Warriors tonight. Sharks at home at 7:30. Feel good about that?
Done scoring.
I don't even know who they're playing. Ray, who are the Sharks playing tonight?
I don't know. I think they're playing. Who are they playing?
And see, you're a hockey fan.
I'm not. Look, they've won 2 of their last 3. They're no longer the worst team in hockey, so they're doing fine.
Heater. Sharks on a heater.
They're at home against the Vegas Knights.
That's right.
There you go. There's a.
I eliminated them as a possibility because they played last night.
Now, isn't there a Vegas Knight who's sitting at the edge of becoming like the NHL's Iron Man, most consecutive games played?
Not sitting on the edge. That's way ahead.
All right. Well, no, but current active streak.
Oh,
leader.
active streak. Yeah.
I don't know even who it is. It doesn't matter. He's a Knight. Screw him. The Bird Gauntlet. I told you useless information would be served to you. The Bird Gauntlet. No team in the NFL has ever run the Bird Gauntlet, beating all NFL aviation-related mascots. Avian. Thank you. The bird mascots in this league are Falcons, Seahawks, Cardinals, Ravens, and Eagles. The Cardinals beat the Saints 42-34 to kick off, what was that, week 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. That was a Thursday nighter. So it remains a fact. No team has ever run the Bird Gauntlet. The Saints were 2 birds through the gauntlet and then got upset. So that will be that for the Bird Gauntlet this year. It doesn't come around. It's not an annual occurrence. You need the NFL scheduling gods to give you a Bird Gauntlet.
It's like waiting for the cicada.
So, yeah, what was it 7 years?
13.
13.
I believe it's 13.
Come on, pick up that tempo, cicadas. It's like Shanahan's offense. Can we make them moving that faster?
No.
By
They've been doing this for millions of years. They're not on your clock.
So, as an East Coast guy, someone who grew up on the East Coast, once every 13 years is about enough of those damn things. You've never lived through a cicada month, have you? Because you're a West Coast guy.
But I've been there when they've decided to emerge. They make for crunchy walking.
Crunchy walking. They all turn into peanut shells when they die, like 3 days after they emerge from their cocoons to mate. And then the noise. It's deafening when they really all start humming together.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
But it's less irritating than the midges.
The midges?
We saw those in Cleveland
the little
this year.
pinchy things?
No.
You
Those
mean
are
like
earwigs.
Right.
Those are the little gnat things that always seem to visit Cleveland in September and October, and they make some games literally unplayable because they form these massive clouds.
What New York Yankee basically got pushed off? Was it Jabba Chamberlain?
Yes.
Was it? Yeah.
Yep.
Did I get that right?
You did. Can I also follow up on something before we say goodbye?
Is it about the slurry?
No, it is about the history that the Vegas Golden Knight is chasing, and his name is Phil Kessel. And tonight will be his 990th consecutive game, which is the most ever. He's passing Keith Yandel. How about that?
He's a hockey player.
Yes. He also got into a huge fight with a sports writer once who accused him of eating 3 hot dogs a day.
That's an insult?
Yeah, kind of.
It was to him.
Well, yeah, because, the implication was that he was a fat pig.
Is he girthy? Would you describe him as girthy?
I would not. I don't think there are any girthy hockey players. There are guys who are bigger than others, but I wouldn't say that any of them are overweight. That's usually sweated out of them in a couple of games worth.
Roberto Luongo's pretty girthy.
No, he's not.
Should this be where I ask you about what you think a sumo goalie would do in the pipes?
Thank you.
Oh, that was a Thinking Man's Thursday question, wasn't it? Or was that,
He would never lose. He'd never give up a goal. Ever.
Somebody says cicada cycles every 17 years. Get it right, Ray.
Yeah, Ray.
Well, I'm a jerk. I should go home, study up.
You can enjoy a Slurpee. And what was your go-to flavor of Slurpees?
They didn't have a cornucopia of options then.
What was your so your
You just
like
ordered a
childhood
Slurpee, and it was there.
You got beige? Was that your flavor?
No, it was kind of a red thing. I don't know what flavor it was. That was the only option you had.
Do you think the red might have like cherry or fruit punch, or was it lemon?
Could have been human blood. I don't know.
No, it wasn't human blood. No kid wants a human blood Slurpee, especially an adorable, tiny hand Ray Ratto drinking a Slurpee.
Speak for yourself.
It's almost Halloween.
It was red. That's all I know.
Cherry.
Fine.
I'm going to go with cherry.
Whatever. I don't know.
You going to help me get to 57?
I'm trying to get out at 57.
Well, then talk me through this childhood Slurpee memory.
I ordered Slurpees every once in a while when we walked by the convenience store. That was it. That was your memory. It wasn't like a momentous event in my life.
What does Slurpee cost when you were a kid?
15 cents.
Come on! What the hell's wrong with this world? A Slurpee costs like $30-40 right now. I'm pretty sure at a 7.
Oh no, it's $79.99.
Get out of here.
No, yeah,
you can go home now. You can go home. I'm letting you out 30 seconds early.
Party
because
down.
You worked so hard. Ray has a boat to catch. Hopefully, the bar car is open on the boat tonight.
The bar car is almost never open on the boat, and I hate the San Francisco Bay Ferry for that very reason. Bastards.
Get it right. There was an earthquake today. Everyone needs a drink.
Oh, literally, just bottles should be handed out free to every passenger.
Would you prefer a Slurpee?
No.
Thanks to Michael Irvin for joining us today. We covered everything with Michael, from Christian McCaffrey to tattoos to dinners to butt cheeks. It was a comprehensive interview, if there ever was one. Thanks to him. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you so much, Grandy. Excellent stuff. Really appreciate it. Stick around. Warriors basketball with John Dickinson right around the corner here. Thank you for tuning in, and please do remember tomorrow, what we got? We're going to go inside the 49ers locker room. We don't know with who yet.
And Coach Kerr.
And Steve Kerr tomorrow here on Damon and Ratto. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your Slurpees, everyone. Sports don't build character, they reveal it.
And like that, he's gone.